roster. We had people sneaking in last night, coming in through the dock. We have a lot of equipment here. A lot of vendors have a lot of equipment here. Y'all have all your setup. So I want all that to be safe, first and foremost. But yeah, anyway. Tomorrow we're going to start with the lever deadlift. It's a fairly new event. Not a lot of people know about it. It's a pretty easy way to trick people into doing a sumo deadlift. And, you know, sumo gets a lot of hate. A lot of hate. It's kind of crazy, but, you know.
1,000 pounds, 1,000 pounds. I don't care how you get it up.
Yep. So, and then after that, it should be pretty easy setup and breakdown of all the events after that. We're hoping to just smoke through this. You know, the athlete area, hopefully Texas Iron Republic shows up. Otherwise, they're going to be warming up on the lanes. So, but, yeah.
And just so you know, because I forgot to push the sound for the live thing, the American Outlaw SLC, Sean L. Christ, joined by the American Treasure, the amazing Paul Leonard, and we're here with John Lester, the coordinator of the largest strongman event ever in the world here at USS Nationals 2023, John Lester.
Yeah.
So you basically just give us a rundown of what's going on with the stream tonight. We got rules meeting tonight at 5:30, I believe. So,
Yep.
Hey, if you can't make it to rules meeting tonight, watch the stream. If you have somebody that's doesn't know that we're going to do that, we're going to have it here so you guys can go back, rewatch it, or so to make sure that they understand what's going on for tomorrow, because we need everything to be smooth and be very coordinated tomorrow, because we have over, 630 athletes that signed up.
So far, 642 athletes signed up. Just under 500 have signed in so far. 442 is the last I checked.
That's crazy.
So some people are a little behind. They ain't got much more time left to clock in. What time is it right now?
Right now it is, we got 3:12 Central Time.
About an hour and 15 minutes left to
Yes, sir.
get in, or they ain't getting in.
Now, what's really cool about this venue, and Paul, you've been walking around taking pictures and posting stuff, is that you guys have actually made this into pretty much like a mini expo for as many sponsors as you have here. Because I know I have 20 sponsors that I got to go ahead and make sure we cycle for tomorrow. And in here you got at least 10 different booths?
Yeah, 10 different booths. You know, I didn't want to charge much. I'm an athlete, and I love getting free stuff. I love seeing a bunch of vendors because, you know, a few nationals here and there I've been to, they had 3 booths. That's, you know, what do I do in between events?
Right. Right.
So, you know, and you know, I'm good friends with the people at Depth. Ludus reached out to me, Impact Mouth Guards, they're phenomenal. You know, some of the stuff that I love, I reached out to a small company, literally hasn't even started. They just started production on their clamps, Mackey clamps. If anybody knows Joseph Mackey, IFBB Pro, he pulled 900 pounds on ESPN. So he'll be out tomorrow too.
That's crazy.
Be showing you how to use them. We're going to be using the clamps on lanes 3 and 4. It's our heavyweight and super heavyweight lanes in the afternoon. So, and then, man, waited out. They gave us axle jacks. They're an axle jack and a regular bar deadlift jack. So it's, you know, it's crazy how many people want to be a part of it whenever they understand what we're for.
Absolutely.
I'm giving so much stuff away. It's insane.
No, and that's the thing here is that John and Megan, you guys' hearts about this big, just the hospitality you guys have had here, especially with us.
Oh, yeah.
And just with all the vendors and all the athletes and everything like that. So you got everything laid out. They can come and test it, you know, as you're ready to go for tomorrow. Paul, you've been walking around this expo. What's some of your favorite things you've seen so far?
My favorite thing is always, of course, the people, meeting the athletes. And but I spent some time with our fine folks from Gainiac Nutrition that came down. They're one of our chief sponsors. They're out of Lubbock. I met those folks. Super nice. Check out they have a brick and mortar store, but they're online. So check out Gainiac Nutrition. I met with Ken from Cerberus. And I was over at their booth, but then their business picked up, so I didn't want to get in the way, which is great. I mean, Cerberus makes world-class support gear that the strongman and any hard-training strength athlete needs. So, but my favorite thing is just coming to the Nationals, because I did a high-level strongman contest 20 years ago, and there was like 30 of us. I mean, there's 20 times now you have ladies classes. I mean, you'll have competitors from in their teens, male and female, all the way up to the 60s and maybe even 70s.
Yep.
How many? There's 5 events going to be contested tomorrow. So also, strongman is very dynamic. The sport, when I did it 20 years ago, there was no lever deadlift. There was the equipment, and it's way better. We used to go hunt and peck our equipment, invent it. It's better. It's more precise. And then you have companies that like LeMaster Their plates, I looked at their plates, and it's like a throwback to the 60s, like Zoovers. They stamped and like made the plates like it's a work of art. It's Rogue, etc. Everybody knows that company and what they've done to Strongman. But capitalism is the greatest thing to happen for a sport because it raises everybody's game. So having the expo and you being very generous and promoting, taking the time out, I can't imagine the time and effort that goes into promoting nationals.
Taking a year. 1 year of planning, and you know, it took us 2 months to find a venue that wasn't $100,000 plus. You know, I'm not making much. Like, I know everyone thinks that I'm making $100,000. No, I've spent $100,000 on this.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, and earlier when you said walking around, I've already seen him. I've seen him in previous shows. But the president of USS, Willie Wessels, is here, and he's a former world champion, all-time total record holder in powerlifting, as well as a 3-time national strongman champion. He's the president of the federation. But rest assured, you wouldn't have the honor of hosting this if you weren't squared away and your heart wasn't in the right place and doing it all about the athletes first, with giving them the best chance to show their strength on the best equipment on the face of the earth in an amazing world-class venue in an awesome city. I used to live here 5 years myself. It's amazing. This is just, I couldn't be more excited, Sean. I could not be more excited.
No, I know. Paul and I, we drove 15 hours straight, and we realized the first 8 hours we were just basically talking about this, hyping ourselves up, just telling stories. Also, we looked at the GPS. It's like, we got 6 hours left. We're already in Texas.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta be kidding me. But yeah, it's an amazing show, and like you said, you know, it can't be done without, obviously, you know, you and your wife. It can't be done without the sponsors. And the most important thing is the reason why we do this is, obviously, we've all been competitors because that's the bottom line. And we just love the sport itself, but it's all about the athletes.
Oh, yeah.
It just does. None of this happens without the athletes. It doesn't happen without all of you that are watching this right now or you see this. It's because of you. The sport of strongman has grown to where it has, and the way it continues to grow is because you've been showing interest in it, and you just want to basically come out there and showcase the hard work you do.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, if you think about it, which people don't understand, is that when you get on a platform, you know, no matter what strength sport it is, you know, powerlifting, bodybuilding, you know, strongman, etc., you could train for up to like 6 months, like, you know, 8 months, a year, and all you're really doing is getting ready for what, 6 minutes and 30 seconds of actual time.
Way to belittle it. Way to belittle it.
No,
I get what you mean.
no,
I
but you
get
know what I'm
you
saying
mean.
though. It's crazy because people are like, wow, it's like that's the discipline.
Yeah.
And why they do it? Because they love it. So that's why we're here, because we want to capture all that, because you do see some cool stuff at these things, man.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes the littlest person lifts the most amount of weight. You're like, that's insane.
Yep.
Or they just get that last second with the crowd going on and, you know, the music and everything, and they just hype it up. They hit an all-time PR. I mean, that's why we're here.
Yeah, I love it. Whenever people tell me they're going to zero, I'm just like, no, just
No.
give it one go.
Right.
You'll know from that moment. You're going to surprise yourself.
And something that's all that little spike. It's like, oh, I'm ready to go now. You know, because it is different. You know, in the gym, you know, we call it the bro lifts or the gym lifts. You know, your controlled environment. It's a environment you're used to. But when you get out here, eyes are on you, the lights are on, the music's on, the people are cheering. That's like a spike of adrenaline you'll never experience in the gym. You just won't. You won't.
That's true. Yeah, it's completely different. I actually. So I won nationals back in 2021, the national champion, and I mean, I didn't pay attention all day. I didn't pay attention to the score, no nothing. I just kept my head down and did my thing.
Yeah.
Talked, played around, and I did the same thing whenever I got my pro card through USS. Just kept my head down, had fun, and and I lost that somewhere along the way, and then hurt myself. You know, I was pushing. So
Hurt yourself a couple weeks ago too.
yeah, I don't even know how I did it either. So.
That's all of us. Like, I just got up.
But yeah, I mean,
my legs hurt.
you know, I love seeing people happy. I like giving stuff away. So I mean, there's going to be 2 athletes on the deadlift. Whoever pulls the most reps, regardless of weight class. But if they tie, it's the lighter athlete that I'm going to give some Madewell strength.
Heck yeah.
Elephant bar extenders
Oh,
that
wow.
he brought down.
Oh, wow.
He brought. I got 2 bars from Intech Strength that I'm giving away to 2 athletes. Jeez, I'm giving away 4 of those deadlift jacks from Weighted Out. We have goodie bags. Our first place finishers are getting a plethora of things. It's insane.
Belts. Championship belts, I saw.
Belts,
They're
too,
amazing.
trophies.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
There's even more in the bags. It's crazy. Straps from Norse Fitness, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I've never seen a strongman event giving away so much swag. I really haven't. I mean, it's absolutely above and beyond what you guys have done with this.
Yeah,
thing.
even Weighted Out, he's going to engrave national champions on 10-pound weight plates, and he's going to ship them to them for us.
That's cool.
We got him connected with Lynn Morehouse with OSG, so they're going to be working together now.
Yeah.
You know, he makes the thinnest weight plates on the market, and I love them. I don't use any of my expensive Rogues that I purchased. I don't use them anymore. So it's just, you know, it's incredible how many people have actually reached out. You know, a good buddy of mine owns USA Strength. A good buddy of mine runs SISE. And if y'all don't know who Ryan Cooling is, he runs an expo every year, once a year.
Oh, cool.
Definitely someone cool to hook y'all up
Yeah,
with.
love to meet him.
It's a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, because we do the USA Fit Expo. They have one in Dallas, and we do the one that's actually in Phoenix, Arizona, over in Scottsdale with Julie Smay.
With Julie Smay.
Yeah, and I think actually I think that expo is actually going to be here next week when we leave.
Yeah, so next week I go to Mexico.
Okay.
The week after it's here, and I'll be here. I get to judge the men's class.
Nice.
So.
Oh, cool. Yeah, there's so many strongman contests. Like when President Wessel sat with us last time, this year, last time at some events, he was telling us that they just passed their 1,000th sanctioned event, which is amazing.
Crazy.
That's
and
insane.
yeah, so if you're tuning into the stream right now, we appreciate you. And like Jonathan was relating, like a couple years ago, World's Strongest Man, I don't think Tom Stoltman won one event, but he became the World's Strongest Man by consistently placing high in everything. And that can happen. I mean, unlike powerlifting, which is my background, if you zero on a lift, you're out of the event. Well, in strongman, if you have a sore shoulder and you can't quite do the press well, you still have 4 events that you could do really well in, and the overall placing will be determined by your performance weighed in for all those 5 events. That's the beauty of strongman.
Yep.
And there's going to be the 5 tests of strength they're going to be in this contest are, Jonathan? What are they?
One of them's the lever deadlift. That's number 1. The next one is the axle clean and press. It is a clean and press every rep. I've had so many people ask me if it's clean and press away. No, you have to clean and press every rep. So we go overhead, then all the way back down to the ground, then you start again. You know, earlier this year we had some hiccups with the axles, and it was supposed to be 18-inch wagon wheel deadlift. We had some hiccups and had to lower it to 13, and I had to rush to get some stuff ordered. Luckily, you know, Frank at Texas Power Concept got us those axles in a week. 10 axles, welded, chipped, painted, chipped, everything.
Wow.
Had to buy wagon wheels from Titan Fitness. Let's see, what's the next event? The coin hold.
Yeah, coin hold.
The one everyone's dreading.
Now, why is that? Because we have had people come up to us kind of like, yo, did they have the coins? That was like one of the biggest things. People were asking where they're at.
Because typically a front hold, it's straight out in front of you. This one, you're almost palms up.
So you're basically goblet cupping it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Interesting.
it's definitely, it's the size of a 25-pound plate. It's about
They are big.
12 inches.
They are big.
And this one's about 8 inches to 10 inches thick. So most people weren't expecting that. They're just holding 25s. And then the final event is going to be the revised sandbag drag. I wanted to replicate the giant chain, and I couldn't justify spending that much money on boat anchor chain.
Yeah.
Right.
And having to drive to Houston, pick it up, and trips.
Right.
So I was like, you know what? Maybe I could just do a CrossFit worm drag. And my buddy who owns Revised and USA Strength, he reached out and told me that he could probably get one of those made for me. So we tried like 6 different variations. We tried the carabiners, some smaller bags. We had some general purpose bags we carabinered together to see if that would work. And then we finally settled on this, and it's full of rubber mulch sand.
Yeah, no, it's neat
Oh,
because
wow.
you got 2 of them. You have a 300-pound, a 450-pound one.
Yeah,
I believe sitting over there.
So that 450 is actually 200 and a 250 in a 12-foot liner. So it's 2 of the smaller sandbags. And I'll tell you right now, I never want to touch a sandbag again. Me and my son, he's 13, he's actually competing tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
He helped me fill 16 6-foot-long sandbags, and I'll never touch them again. We're giving them away tomorrow. Anybody that wants one, you can come take one.
Come take a sandbag.
Oh, I think there'll be a lot of takes on that because that's one of the questions that I had was on walk around the floor. They know I'm associated with this production. They're like, "Where's the sandbags? Can we check them out?" I'm like, "Yeah. You can." Now I didn't know you could take them when it's all done.
Yeah, no. If anybody wants them, they're going in the trash, or someone can take them home. I don't mind.
That's awesome. Anything you'd like to say? I mean, what I'm getting when we're talking about this is like the overall theme when you put strength athletes together in a capitalistic situation in these companies, they're awesome to deal with, huh? It's like they get their stuff done. They're over delivering and under promising and giving you everything you've needed, right?
Oh, yeah. No,
That's amazing.
I haven't had any issues with anyone.
That's great.
You know, Gainiac was my first one on board. I'm a sponsored athlete by them. And you know, Pioneer, you know, I mean, I had a few people reach out after the fact, said we would have paid for the whole thing, but when we initially reached out, they said they didn't want anything to do with it. But once they saw that we had 650 athletes, they reached back out.
Yeah, that's a world record, and guess what? This is happening.
Anybody associated with it wants to be associated
now,
with it.
Now they want to be associated with it. That's all right.
Yeah, and like what you were relating to before in the coin hold, what I always tell people is, this is we hope you join us. If you can't join us here in person in Dallas, watch us on the Valor and Venom YouTube stream. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe. But also, you got to realize, and if you don't get the chance to watch it, we understand it's Saturday in the summer in the U.S. Maybe you got a wedding, poor planning. Maybe you have a sporting event, baseball. But that all being said, there will only be one USS 2023 Nationals. And the way it's contested, if you weren't here, it's not the same. You can't say, oh, I could have done that on the ladder deadlift. Oh, I could have done the coin hold. Maybe you've never done the coin hold palms up. So watch this later and like, share, and subscribe. Let us provide feedback to us as well as to the USS Nationals Instagram page. Yep. Comments, say positive, but also, like, if you have questions, feedback, let us know, because before you know it, we'll blink, and in 5 years we'll be here for the Worlds or something. Let's be honest.
Right. I mean, it's only going to grow.
Yes.
I mean, we got 600 or something right now. Maybe we'll get a K sooner or later.
Ooh.
And speaking about some of the athletes you said, is there any athletes off the top of your head that you need to be highlighted, like returning champions or someone that are like runners up that are going to be doing pretty much giving it their all to get that spot?
Man, it's hard to pick one.
They're all your favorite. Your son.
Yeah.
Your son. Your son.
Really
That's awesome.
is, to be honest. And I can't really tell you. The one guy I had picked for sure that I had picked to win the super heavyweight division, his name's Seth Tyser. He actually had to withdraw.
Really?
He just withdraw like an hour ago.
Oh, man.
And I was really looking forward to watching him because I follow him on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I love watching him. He's only 26. He's got a bright future ahead of him. He just doesn't know it. Man, I can't really tell you because my buddy Elijah Yoder ended up getting an infection and he had to withdraw too. He was in the hospital. He has a PICC line right now and everything.
Oh, I hope he's okay.
Man.
Yeah, he seems to be doing better. Both of his brothers are competing and they're animals.
Nice.
They're farm strong. I'm telling you, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah. I've been there. Scott Papasol, he whooped my ass. Excuse my French. Then he went on for a 2-year career at the San Diego Chargers. He's an Iowa boy. Yeah.
Okay.
There
you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played ball in Iowa for a year, and it was just so different out there, man.
Yeah. He was listening. I didn't know. I had heard of Slipknot. He was listening to that, and he was super friendly, but I'm like, and then he just whooped he whooped our asses. I hope when you hear, Jonathan describing what happens is strongman will go until they die, but sometimes they train too hard or have training injuries or life happens. I know you just had a foot injury. The truth of high level strength athletics is it's like relationships. You don't get over one till you get another.
Yeah.
Injuries, that is.
It's crazy. Yeah, I'll still pick up my sandbag, and the first thing I do is look at my bicep, and then I'm not going to pick up the sandbag. So it's the first thing I do.
Very common injury. A lot of strongmen have torn their biceps, and it is what it is. And I had the pleasure to meet the 2021. He's walking around, so I like big, huge humans like yourself. I was once one myself, but Mr. Rivas. He is 500 pounds. Talking to him, just totally focused.
Oh, are you talking about Josh Silvas?
Yes. Silvas.
Silvas, man.
I'm sorry, yeah.
That guy definitely has a future. He's a killer ball player, but I think if anybody can beat the world record log press, it'd be him.
Yeah, I was amazed, and I got to talk to him, and what an amazing young strength athlete, and coached by Scott Warman, multiple world champion powerlifter at El Paso, and he's here today. I love seeing these people I've heard. That's the beauty of a nationals. You see people you've heard about, and you never even got to, or you just know their social media handle. That's why I got his name wrong at first. But that all being said, it's so exciting to have the honor of throwing this, and I'm glad to see you're enjoying it, some of it, interacting with the people, because if you do it, if you compete in it, if you train it, administer it, you're still a fan.
Yeah.
We're always a fan.
Yeah, I still watch everything. If there's a free live stream or a live stream in general, I'll watch it. I enjoy it. I'll spend a Saturday sitting there watching live stream Strongman. It's a lot of fun.
And you know what?
Sure is.
Speaking with the live stream, that's one thing I want to just hit home. And thank you guys for allowing us the opportunity to do this for you guys.
Absolutely, man.
We'll showcase it later today when they do the rules meeting of how we're going to set up, because there's been a lot of rumors. People can come to me here and like, oh, we only have one camera, or it's going to be like this. Listen, you have 8 lanes. You have 2 to a lane. We have 4 cameras.
Yep.
So we have basically 1 per lane. And guess what? You're going to see every single minute of the action we got coming up.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be broken into screen. We got each quarter of the screen is going to have a window. So if you have an athlete and you know what lane they're going to be in and what flight they're going to be on, that's the screen you want to watch. Basically, not only just cheering your athlete, comment down below, because we can sit there and cheer them on as well with the live mic, with everybody, because this is nationals. Every little bit's going to help these athletes compete at their best.
Oh, yeah.
And we have a full support staff to make this happen. So Arizona, the USS Arizona State Chairman Julius May is off camera to my left. She's going to administer by a laptop. So you can check out Iron Podium. Now, Iron Podium is a free resource. It's very user-friendly. It'll have the scoreboard of the whole event. So here at our booth, as we try to keep up and stream, imagine there's going to be almost 500 athletes. So if you go to ironpodium.com and just click on the USS Strongman Nationals 2023, you'll see at the bottom there'll be a right there. Sean's pulling it up for you on the screen, but you'll see a scoreboard. You can put point totals. It's an amazing resource we've been using for years. It's totally affiliated with the USSS, Strongman, but it's free. So check it out, and we'll get it if you leave comments. We if I don't know all 500 competitors, but if we try companion in this process.
Yeah, it is broken down per weight class. So I mean, you go right on there, it shows exactly the weight class it is. It shows who's competing in it, who's in against, and it's also live. So as soon as I enter the score, boom, you just refresh your screen, and it shows right up there.
Yep, and all lanes tomorrow are going to be running at their own pace. So
yes,
you see the women's heavyweight lane might only have 15, 18 athletes. They're going to be done quick. We're going to try as little downtime as possible, but I still want everyone to warm up properly. But some of our afternoon classes have 80 athletes, and another class has 30. We had to split our middleweights because we couldn't have 130 athletes on a single lane because that would take almost 10 hours. So we're hoping to blow through it, start at 1 hard for the afternoon class, and hopefully be done by 5 or 6. I'd like to be done with awards and start cleaning up by 7.
Yeah. So
me and my wife are usually pretty strict on that.
No, absolutely. And just so you all know, is that basically what's going to happen is that we're going to go ahead and kick off a little bit ahead of time, because we're gonna go live with the events at around 08 tomorrow, which is Central Standard Time. So it's going to be 9 a.m. for those on the East Coast, and for those that are in Mountain Standard Time, Pacific Time, it's going to be at 6 a.m.
Yep.
But the first show we're going to kick off is supposed to be from 8 to noon, 1 hour break, so we can go ahead and recharge, refresh. I'll probably put a new shirt on. I'll be sweating because I'll be probably going nuts on here. And then we'll come back on around like 1:30, and then that's pretty much the stream's going to stay on from about 1:30 all the way until we finish this thing with the awards.
Yep.
So
good to go.
It's definitely going to be a good time.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right, John, any other closing words?
Let the games begin.
Absolutely, sir. Appreciate your time, and thank you so much for letting us do this, man.
Thank you so much. It's an honor.
Much, yeah.
John Lester, the organizer of this with his wife, Megan. We're going to try and get Willie Wessels on here. I know he was out there yucking up. So, absolutely. So, while you're grabbing him, we'll entertain the masses.
Thank you for taking the time, and thank you for bringing Valor and Venom on board.
Yes, sir.
Awesome streaming this to the whole wide world. 8 billion potential eyes could see this. And
absolutely.
Thanks for joining us. If you're just catching up, Valor and Venom here on YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe. My name is Paul Leonard. My Instagram, if you'd follow me, please, is Paul J. Leonard, PLUSA. Sean, your Instagram is?
The American Outlaw, USMC. You can go in and follow my personal page, and, of course, follow the Valor and Venom Instagram page as well, and obviously the YouTube channel, too. And one thing we want to talk about real quick before Willie comes over here is Paul's got on the first event we did this year over at the ATP Classic, a brand-new gym located in beautiful Arizona.
Chandler,
Arizona. And I'm actually wearing the first shirt that I ever did. It wasn't streamed. It was just me guerrilla style with like 3 different cameras trying to like capture stuff, not knowing what I did basically 4 years ago. And it was a blast. And we went from that to here we are at the national scene. And can't be happier. And I mean, this has been a fantastic town, fantastic venue too.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's to see so many old friends, and it's a nationals is a reunion. These are a lot of people we love, but to meet so many new friends, and as a high-level athlete, it might be your only nationals. You might not get back here,
right?
Or a few will go on to even higher and bigger things, but then they'll come back. But it's such an exciting feeling. We did do a strongman contest, and we broadcast one in a couple weeks into January with our friends Adam and Mel up at ATP, the ATP Classic in Chandler, and.
I'll take a drink. Yeah. Like a water or something like that. Okay. Yeah.
We also stream powerlifting, but this is really by far the Nationals is the crown jewel. After this, we do we stream a powerlifting meet at Tucson Strength on July 22nd, but then the first week of August, we have the Unbroken Strength at the USA Fit Games in beautiful Scottsdale, Arizona, at the world-famous Westworld. Like it is, I mean, it ties this in terms of a facility. You know, it's a beautiful, world-class facility designed to sell horses, but also they have that world-famous auto auction. The Barrett Jackson is there every year, but they turn that into a heck of a fit expo. And then before you know it, we'll double feature in October. We have the men's under 80 worlds, and then we have the women's worlds strongman up in Phoenix at Bellbank Park, or I think the men's are at Bellbank Park. But we're not to get ahead of ourselves, but this is surreal to be here at the Nationals, Sean.
Oh, yeah. You know, and this could have been done without our strength family from Arizona. You know, I mean, you got Ray from Melissa Tycho there at Bichon Powerhouse, where it all began. And then, you know, the other big proprietor was Julia Smay, who has absolutely dominated the strongman scene over in Arizona with her USA Fit National Expo, where she has almost over 75 contestants that we actually do at the expo while everything else is going on. And they usually give us front row things. So you walk in there, and boom, you see a lot of people picking up big toys that weigh a ton, just basically doing crazy stuff with them. So it's always a good time. So no, absolute sweetheart. You know, definitely part of the strength family. And then, you know, of course, you have for me personally, we also do the IZW of Steve Michelle Izos. Steve, top 10 national strongman that just competed this year. He's a Navajo warrior. He goes off on Instagram, and he has been wrestling with WWE since, I believe, 1989. And just solid the earth person and give you a shirt off his back if he possibly could help you anyway. And, you know, there's a bunch of other people, like Paul said. You know, Tucson Strength has also helped as well. I know we're streaming from Dallas, but, hey, we're Arizona. We're proud of being there. And like I said, I know at one point in time I said that we're probably never going to leave the state, but you know what? We did, and we love it. And this is the first time at the state, and here we are at the Nationals.
Once you get called up to the big leagues, you got to answer the call.
Yeah, hey.
You know, and there's nothing more exciting. Sean and I, we're not wet behind the ears, but man, we jumped in that car in Tucson and drove 15 hours straight just to get over here and talked all the time, and just had a fantastic time on the road.
It's been an interesting year for Paul and I. Not to get like all into what it was and everything, but like I had some things going on, and people that know me know what was going on with me, and this is basically a vacation. Even though it's work, it's still a vacation. Thank you so much, John.
Thank you.
He is currently getting energy drinks.
Okay, fantastic. I see Megan's hiding right over there, too.
She can jump on the mic.
She can jump on the mic if she wants.
We love it. Thank you.
But yeah, this is pretty much the summer is beginning with a bang, and we just couldn't wait to get in the car, get out here, and just bring our talent and showcase these amazing athletes to you live at home or wherever you're going to watch this, because it's just going to be a great time. It's going to be a long day tomorrow, so we're trying to hydrate. We're trying to get everything ready. But, you know, when the hype hits, I'm not going to feel anything until it's done. Then when it's done, we're probably going to crash. I mean, I know there's probably going to be an after party, but we'll see. Yeah,
it'll definitely be euphoric at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Need that to keep my sanity.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, we've had the competitors coming in, checking out all the implements. A lot of them haven't seen this implements. The beauty of a strongman competition is now we're going to have another esteemed guest. Some people don't like to have a light shown on them, but that's what we do here. Now,
listen, here are the American Outlaws. Paul knows me. I'm going to pull you if I see you. If you look at us for a second, I got your attention. We're going to go ahead and get you in here.
Now, I see our lovely guest, who I'm terrible with names, but first I see she's rocking the Gainiac Nutrition, one of the chief sponsors on her sweat top, which is really cool. So please introduce yourself to potentially 8 billion people around the world.
Perfect. Not terrifying at all.
Not terrifying at all, yeah.
Hey, I'm Chelsea Morgan, and I am a sponsored Gainiac athlete. So.
Yes.
Outstanding. What is tell us about your strength athletic background. What is it?
So I'm currently a strongman competitor. I competed at OSG last year, and I finished 9th in the 82 kilo class. So
oh, wow.
That's about my biggest one right now.
Top 10 in the United States. Awesome.
Yeah, it was cool.
That is so cool. Was that down in Florida last year?
It was. It was in Daytona last year.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice town.
It is. Yeah.
Very nice
Very
town.
party town.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah,
If you've
yeah.
never been there, it's
Daytona and Ormond Beach are they're a nice place.
Yeah.
We used to go down for Bike Week. We were in at Camp Lejeune all the time. Just drive down there. It's
Bike
fantastic.
Week, it was like
yeah.
the week before we got down
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
So to dispel the myth that people that lift weights don't have a lot of fun, we have the most fun.
We have a great time.
We crash and burn at times. No, it's blast and dust, right? And sometimes
Yes.
when we blast, we have a good time.
We do.
So where do you get are you training up in Lubbock with Gainiac, or
No.
where are you out of?
So I'm actually out of Missouri.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I live in southeast Missouri, so I'm 9 hours from here and 13 from Lubbock or something like that. So,
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm
Cool.
quite a ways away right now.
I see. I've been to 37 states, but not Missouri. So I know it's a show me state, right?
It is.
What is there a good gym situation over there? Obviously, you're in fantastic shape
Yeah,
and you're
for sure.
strong. What's
Yeah.
the gym situation?
We have a gym. We're currently
Oh.
expanding too. So I have all of my strongman equipment there. It's open to anybody to come in and utilize that. So I mean, we've got a easy day pass fee and all that. So we've got some strongman gyms there. I'm 2 hours out of St. Louis.
Oh,
and there's
okay.
some there as well. So we have a pretty decent little strongman community around the area.
Is your gym a commercial venture, or is it just like a garage club like I used to have? What
We're
is
like
it?
a one-off. So we have a couple different facilities. We have 2 currently, but we're not a commercial gym by any means.
Okay.
Yeah.
But would you like to let the people know? Is there a social media address for this gym?
There is. You
What
can
is it?
visit us. I just started an Instagram page for the gym,
Cool.
so it is Copian Fitness, and we're also on Facebook as well, Copian Fitness.
Copian.
Yeah.
Copiian.
Kopion.
I'm terrible at
Copian
spelling.
Fitness. Yeah.
No one watches that spelling bee, even though
Right.
it's on ESPN. They watch us on
Listen,
YouTube.
we lift weights, okay? That's why we're here.
Oh
Look.
goodness! I can add by 45. Come on.
Exactly.
Right. That's all you got to do.
Teacher asked me what's a 45 plus 45. I said 135. That's what it is.
Right.
That's what it is.
Because you always add the bar.
Just add the bar. That bar
automatically.
automatic.
100%.
Just
Run
saying.
100%. So what is your best event in strongman that you consider?
My best. I love the axle clean and press.
Cool.
Yeah, that's my favorite one.
Nice.
Yeah.
What is your PR?
235 currently.
Ooh,
Oh,
wow.
shit.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
almost 100 pounds over body weight, right?
Right.
Who's
right.
counting?
No.
So
no,
what's your worst event?
Oh God. I'm not a fan. Well, the lever deadlift. I'm not a fan of this. I did
It's
it back
all
in
new.
January.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did it back in January. I just wasn't. I didn't love it.
Sure.
It's
you're
just,
being
it's
awkward.
honest. Yeah.
Yeah, you've been candid.
It's a sumo pull. Nobody really likes sumo and strongman. Let's be honest.
Yeah, and I think it has its background in like Ode Hagen. If you know who that is, he maybe you don't, but Ode Hagen kind of introduced it because he's like I was in Southern California. I knew Ode. Like his hand compared to my hand's like this.
Okay.
So it's kind of grip centric, but I don't know the way he designed it. But this doesn't look grip centric. You know, Jonathan has gone on all out and to decide what events they're going to test him in.
Sure.
So it'll be interesting.
Yeah,
we're
well-
excited for all 5 events tomorrow.
Yeah,
you know?
it'll be a good time. And the bar on these, that bar actually rolls. So that'll be interesting for some of these athletes, I think.
Sure.
Oh, this was the one thing. As soon as they came in here, everybody was just trying to touch this thing. Because it is kind of a newer implement, not saying it's brand new, but it is a newer implement in the strongman sport. And as soon as somebody sees it, 'cause a lot of gyms don't have this equipment. So this may be the first time, the only time that they have a chance to actually get hands-on and try it out. So
Yeah.
it's very interesting.
And
Watch
it's
everybody
a,
yesterday.
It's a square piece of wood, so
Right.
that's weird in itself. Like,
Because we always saw a log.
yeah, usually everything's circular and it's
Right.
metal, but yeah, this is a square piece of wood for this one.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, and that's what makes any strongman competition, like as an athlete, not in a conceited way, but like just an experience that, like when you said you came in 9th at the Nationals, was that last year, 2022? So that was there will never be another 2022 Nationals. And if you didn't perform at that meet, you don't know.
Right.
Same thing here. If you're not here, thanks for joining us on the stream. But if you didn't do it here, you don't know exactly what was going on.
Correct.
Like whatever that may entail. But obviously a world-class facility, great equipment. The intent is always there, but until you do it, you don't know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what's next for you? What do you got coming up?
Next for me, currently, I'm competing at the USS International Pro competition in September.
Wow, is that down in Florida as well?
That will be in Anna, Illinois at
Oh, wow.
618 Rise Performance.
Okay.
Cool.
So we'll be competing there. It'll be women across all weight classes. We're all thrown into one weight class for the pro division.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Just basically you sign
Yeah.
up, that's it.
Yeah, so you have to
Thunderdome.
You have
Right.
you have to qualify for the International Pro.
Yeah.
So you have to do a pro division in another USS competition and get your qualification for the International Pro. And then
Wow.
at the International Pro, you're then competing for a salary. So your first place winner will win a salary, like a little monthly salary.
That's
Awesome.
that's so
That
metal.
is awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And it should,
Yes.
you know, because I've seen, I went to the Nationals 20 years ago. It's grown exponentially. So
Yes.
it's good that there's opportunities for, because no matter what, it's great to see all these companies and expos and so forth, but it wouldn't exist without the athletes.
Absolutely.
I'm an athlete first at heart. That's what our company focuses on, streaming. We get the chance to meet great people like you and promote and just like shine a light on, hey, this is the sport, and that's what keeps people in this culture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And also as it goes on, if like you said, if you end up if that gym of yours becomes even more commercial, like the correct training and strongman can happen in all age.
It can.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's actually beneficial.
It is.
You
Yep.
carry, you lift, you put stuff overhead, the mobility people lose when they get old and
Right.
don't do it anymore. You
Yeah.
know, don't do things. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
amazing.
We always talk about this too, kind of like what the gym atmosphere is, and like, you know, because you're on here, I want to ask a question: is that everybody thinks if I touch a weight or something like that, it's going to change my body, and I might not like it, but I tell people all the time, and so is Paul, is like, it's not just a physical aspect of the gym; it's a mental aspect.
It is.
If you're going through something, or if you need to surround yourself with just humble, amazing people, because let's face it, the strongest people you meet, they are almost extremely humble when it comes to this. And getting in the gym and just bettering yourself, because you know you have a better mind and a better body, it'll all come together and it'll follow. And when you started doing this, like, what was your driving? Like, what made you like, you know what, I'm latching on this, I'm doing this like as a career?
So I initially started as a power lifter for SPF, and then I switched into bodybuilding, and then from bodybuilding I came to strongman. So I've kind of been across all aspects of the strength
Yeah.
world now. But what initially pushed me, it sounds really weird, was a divorce. So I went through a really tough time. I went through like a super bad depression, and I wanted that revenge body that everybody wants. So
Sean,
that's
you
what
relate?
I did.
Listen, we're on number 3, and this is the body I got. So maybe one of these days it'll click.
So yeah, divorce, and now here I am.
And how do you feel today? Amazing,
Great.
right?
Yeah, no, I
Right.
love it. Yeah, I shot with Blackjack Images last night and did
Yeah.
a little photo shoot with them.
Awesome.
Great
So-
dude.
Yeah, so I've
Absolutely.
got some really good opportunities that have opened up because of the gym and strongman and everything with that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, when I did, ladies in strength sports were not as prevalent 20 years ago, right? But when I did my nationals in Boston, Jill Mills was there.
Mm-hmm.
And like our first time I saw her, and she's have you had the pleasure of meeting Jill?
I haven't.
Because she won like the first inaugural like world's strongest woman.
Right.
But what a personality, and she looked phenomenal, and you're just like, wow, you
Right.
know what I'm saying? And she's super nice because she's like a horse veterinarian too. She's in San Antonio, but you know, it's just amazing. But
It is.
it's good to see opportunities for everybody. But the opportunities for the ladies is so much more prevalent.
It's
I mean,
definitely opened up, especially in like the last few years. There's a lot of really cool things going on for the women. You know, they got to do the Wheel of Pain
Yes.
at the Arnold and
Yes,
stuff.
they
and
did.
so that was really cool to, you know, watch Melissa Peacock and those
Right.
ladies like
yes,
It was
do
it was
that
awesome.
big old thing. Yeah.
It was awesome.
awesome. Yeah, where we're from in Tucson, I wouldn't say there's as many female strongmen, but like Melissa Tyke from Beast Powerhouse, she's a pro bodybuilder and super strong. There's a lot of female strength athletes, but that's amazing. And well, our state rep, do you know Julia for Arizona? That's Julia Smay. She's
Okay.
the USS Arizona state rep. Obviously, a lady, owns a gym in Phoenix called Unbroken Strength that's booming. So
That's awesome.
you guys are getting all you
love it.
deserve and then some. The women's worlds are in October,
Yes,
but
they
I
are.
don't know if are you
October-
going
October
to that?
third.
I'm not going to Pro Women's Worlds because I didn't compete in nationals last year.
Okay.
So I didn't get invited to.
Got you.
competition.
Yeah, I don't know all the ins and outs,
Yeah.
but I do know this: you guys have more opportunities than ever. And,
We
and,
are, yes.
And that international show you're getting ready for in Illinois, because from Missouri you can drive from Illinois. It's a little.
Yeah, so the
So cool.
where it's going to be held is like literally 45 minutes from my house.
Oh, that's so
yeah,
cool.
so I get to
yeah.
stay at home with my dog and my
Yes.
kid, and yeah.
Yeah.
Wake up, show up, but I'm
yeah,
here.
I'll just show up.
I turned pro in powerlifting in '98 at the nationals. Were in Northbrook, Illinois, outside of Chicago.
Yep.
What a great Illinois people, Midwest people are so great. They're so fun. They're so I've lived on both coasts, so
Yeah, God
once
love
you meet
you.
in the middle, yeah, they'll let you know. But
Yeah.
but in the Midwest, people are just so authentic and real, and just you know what I'm saying. That's
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's a different, almost world in the Midwest. Yeah, I've been to New York, and it's just people
Oh,
are
yeah.
nice.
We don't.
I lived in
yeah.
California for 15 years, Southern California, which
Yeah.
I'll tell you stories negative about. Some good stuff. So you're the mama to a fur baby. What's your dog?
I am. So she'll be a year June 5th, so coming up. She's just a black lab.
Just a black
Yeah,
lab, the
she's
best
my little
ever.
baby. Yep.
How much does she love to swim?
A
Does she
lot.
love to swim? Yeah, yeah.
She does love to swim. Yeah,
Yeah.
she has a little dog pool and everything, and
Yeah.
her and my kid are always in it. So.
And how your child? What's
Yep.
what's
so
their
I have
name?
A 10-year-old little boy, Jace.
No way.
Yep, he's
Good
done
for you.
2 strongman competitions with me.
And is he here now with you?
He's not.
He's not here
with
this
his dad
weekend.
right now.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool though.
Yep.
But at 10, I I know I'm a parent. I have 3 children.
Sure.
They're older now, but like when I took the nationals, I flipped an 800-pound tire,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like tired, and the guy from Associated Press snapped my photo. So I have it. It was in papers around the whole world. I have it on my Instagram, anyways. But my son had it framed in his room. He's like,
That's
"That's my
cute.
dad." But your son must be so proud of you.
He is, yeah, he
Yeah.
is. He comes to a lot of competitions with me. He'll be at the International Pro.
Awesome.
He didn't get to go. He went to the Arnold with me last year, and I deadlifted for the XPC there.
Wow.
Yeah, so he got to see that. He's seen me do my bodybuilding and stuff like that. So he's competed twice with me in strongman. He's already got a 140-pound deadlift at 10 years old.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he really likes it. He's strong as an
Uh-oh.
ox.
Look out,
I
Bubba
know.
Pritchett.
I know.
I'm telling
Our
you.
friend Jerry, his son's boom. But that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, so I'm pretty proud of him.
When he understands the lifestyle, he understands
does.
eating healthy at that
He
age,
does.
and then he understands you need your sleep
Yep. Oh, he's
And-
a sleeper.
and trainer. Oh, that's good. Yeah, good.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, he's a sleeper.
Oh yeah, when you're that young healthy
God.
brain that can sleep, you don't have
God.
adult problems.
I know,
It
I'm-
turns off at night.
Yeah.
That must
Oh,
be
yeah.
nice.
Anything else you'd like to pitch and thank or advice?
No.
Advice for any aspiring lady watching this anywhere in the world.
Just do it. Go to a competition, meet people, ask questions. Just jump out there and do it. It's been a lot of fun.
And you got your Gainiac booth over there as well,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
got a ton of product, and they're
Yes.
one of the primary sponsors
They
here
did.
because we couldn't do this without them. So
Yeah,
yeah,
they're
it's-
awesome.
Yeah, they are. And try and get him on there as well because he's just a cool person to talk to.
Steven?
Yeah,
He's
Steve's a cool
awesome.
dude.
I
Cool
will get
dude.
him.
Yeah,
I'll
absolutely.
make him come over here.
Come bring him over here.
I got you.
So
So yeah, if you bump into anybody during the weekend and we have some free time, just tell them, hey, these guys don't hurt.
Right?
They're professionals.
It's not so bad.
you know what? So thank you
Right.
so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time. Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Bye.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Hard training. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, so we're gonna try and get Gainiac over here. The owner of it, Scott, I think it's his name. And yeah, just a
And
cool-
his wife, Casey.
His wife, Casey,
I'm starting
yeah.
to remember some names, Sean. You know, I played football. Remember when we played football and we could hit with your head? Sometimes, yeah. And then
Oh, actually, I don't remember that.
sometimes
Yeah.
I struggle to think.
Oh man, let me tell you. Just the years take over the abuse, but it is what it is, man. It wouldn't change a thing. Meet amazing people on this journey that we've had, and people always have regrets. The only regret is not doing something you want to do. And that's why we say when it comes to like strongman, if you're thinking about doing it, just do it. Just do it. You never know how far you can go. Do not be intimidated by people you see, the size they are, what they put up weight. You'd be surprised on what you can do mentally.
And be respectful. One thing you'll find about a strength athlete, they don't like to waste their time. But if you're sincere and interested and, you approach them respectfully, not when they're in the middle of hard training, but you approach them at the right time, I mean, they'll give you the world. They are the salt of the earth, male, female, big, the biggest, there's the best people. They're so humble.
And if you're doing the sport and you're training and you see somebody doing it, they love to talk to help you out. So if you're like, hey, how do I get better at this? Oh my God, you just open up a wealth of knowledge. They have no problem telling you how to do a technique and how to improve something. And here he is right now.
Oh, here we go. The
Oh,
man of the hour. Hey,
Scott,
come on
come on,
up.
buddy.
Take your time.
Yes, sir.
We have the president, the CEO of Gainiac Nutrition joining us. He's going to put we'll get left and right, sir. Then you put these on. It'll be a whole new world when you put those on.
Yeah, you want to hear us?
Because you won't hear the outside. It works magic.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
there we
take
go.
your time and get comfortable.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for joining us. I got to go over and bother you at your booth a little while ago. Then all of a sudden the business picked up, so I didn't get in your way. We just had one of your athletes right here. But introduce yourself to 8 billion people around the world.
Yeah, so I'm Stephen Taylor.
Steven,
owner
not
of
Scott.
Gainiac Nutrition.
Yeah, and this thing cannot happen without you guys. This has been a fantastic expo. You guys are one of the primary sponsors of it, and yeah, fantastic booth over there, and even some of your stuff that you brought here to kind of like the hawk and sell. It's a cool little setup you guys got.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And it's been a work in progress over the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Got several athletes that we sponsor, strength sports, bodybuilders, powerlifters, strongman athletes. We support all of it. Try to be involved all we can. Grow the strength sports, especially in our location where it's not or hasn't been as popular, but it's growing.
I guess what started Gainiac Nutrition? Like what drove you to do it? Or just how did it happen? Like, what was the story behind it?
So I've been working out, powerlifted for years, taking supplements. And it finally got to the point, me, my wife, and my son, all three were taking a lot of supplements. It was adding up.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah.
But I thought, I reached out, started doing my homework, and I thought I could turn this into a business, and it just kind of just took off from there. A new idea would pop up here and there, and it just kept growing and snowball effect.
What's some of the lines you guys have created or that you're known for?
Like a line?
Yeah, just like some of
They carry what it is. I went over because you were busy with the tech stuff. I went over and saw the booth because in another life I used to work for GNC, so I do appreciate all lifters appreciate supplements. So Gainiac is a retailer for almost every major brand.
Gotcha.
And they are. We were talking. Steve and I were talking that they are exploring the chance of doing their own brand. But what are some of your biggest sellers right now?
Man, obviously pre-workouts and creatine. Those two right there.
You got some more
just
there.
The basics, Basically,
that work,
exactly.
Creatine's been around. Creatine was introduced about 30 years ago, and I was in Southern California at the time, and it used to cost, believe it or not, you probably know this because you're like me, gray bearded and all that, but creatine, you'd buy 4-ounce bottles for $120 because they figured the track and field athletes found it. It's totally natural substance that they were able to synthesize into a powder form that it's in food, but it's not concentrated.
Exactly.
And us heavy trainers, bodies need more of that.
Right.
It's the most studied ergogenic natural aid, that and caffeine in the free world. It has almost a third of a century of studies, university studies, and it proven it works. When your muscles contract, the contractile proteins and the enzymes and so forth in there, it's proven that creatine gets exhausted, so you can replenish it through supplemental means.
Exactly. Everybody's always curious how it works, or do I need to take it daily, or just when I'm working out. The way it works, you take it daily.
Sure.
Your body gets, your muscles get saturated with it. It's always there, readily available.
Sure. And obviously, looking at you're a heavy trainer. You know what I'm saying? And I was when I got it. As soon as I got into working for GNC, I was the top seller in my store, and we used to track it old school, like green pieces of you pull off this product, and it was a sticker board. But they're like, well, you look the part. If you live the part and look the part, of course you can sell it. I laugh when I see, you wouldn't ask for advice from a homeless person. If you're not jacked and muscular,
right? I'm
not really interested per se, but it's living proof when you live the lifestyle,
Yeah, and that's exactly right. That's what it is, Of course, it's a lifestyle, And one thing that I do really love doing what I do is I love to see people's progress or their transformation,
Yes.
Like we'll have people come in wanting, what can I do for weight loss? 2 or 3 months later, they come back in thanking us, or they'll shout us out on Instagram or something, like just praising us for helping them, And I'm like, man, you did the work.
Sure.
Right.
And just in us talking, like I heard this once, right? I heard that somebody that ends up being a physician in the United States, a medical doctor, only takes 8 hours of instruction in nutrition. And the whole
Wow.
Well, obviously, as we talk, like we care about this stuff. We've researched it ourselves.
Exactly.
And like we made an educated decision. And that being said, in our capitalistic country, like it's king. Like I can recall certain supplements that were out 30 years ago that are no longer on the market because they didn't work. And now it's a smarter and educated population. Everybody carries a computer in their pocket.
Yeah.
So if creatine didn't work, they wouldn't be selling it. It wouldn't
Exactly.
work. But there was other things that have come out over the years that are not but it's good to see that you guys are able to stay in the cutting edge of carrying these products and so forth. So you have a brick and mortar store in Lubbock, Texas, which is about 4 hours northeast of here. Northwest, sorry. And you do an online business as well, right?
Yes, sir. We actually started out online initially, right when COVID hit. We were able to build up a good customer base there, ship all over, deliver locally for free.
Oh, nice.
So, we got busy enough. We were able to open the storefront.
What would you say is the amount of your business? For example, one of my sons worked at Smash Burger. You guys have those over here, right? Do you have Smash Burger? It's a burger chain.
I don't think so.
But he once told me, he goes, yeah, 40% of our business, Dad, is Uber Eats and drop off and pick up. This is even before the pandemic. So what amount of online business do you versus in person, would you say, Stephen?
In person blows online away all day.
Yeah, because they need, that's because people need education and they need answers.
Exactly.
And it doesn't take much. And like you said, that's the most rewarding. Of course, you want to be in the black and do good in business, but it's rewarding when I train somebody or work with someone. I love to hear, hey, this worked for me. Yeah, I'm not going to steer you wrong,
Yeah, and that's part of it too, having the storefront. They can come in just for knowledge, or just if they got any questions,
Sure.
That's all my employees are very knowledgeable. They all compete either in powerlifting or bodybuilding. They're not new to supplements at all,
Right.
So very knowledgeable. We try to give everyone all the info that we can to help them or, get them on the right track,
Right.
Headed the right way. To
Sure.
reach their goals, whatever their goals may be.
Yeah, 100%. I'm in my mid-50s, but I've trained people. I've had 5 generations of training partners. My latest one's kind of graduated. One's now a police officer up in Colorado, and one's doing great. They had college football scholarships. But,
Awesome.
I had been able to tell them not just about training, but about basic nutrition. But supplemental nutrition, it's been around it's almost been a companion with the advent of the muscle magazines of the 30s and 40s and 50s. By the 60s, because I have some old issues, it was they knew supplemental protein, fish oil, liver, those things. I take liver. There's some up in my room right here.
Yeah.
Because if you're not eating slices of liver every day, and we all know there was recently some huge fraud related to that. No names mentioned, right? But that all being said, liver is a phenomenal supplement. And if you're not cooking it, same thing with fish oil and creatine. I think the figures were that if you took 2 scoops of creatine, a supplement which are 5 to 10 grams, you'd have to eat 2 to 3 pounds of steak.
Right.
Which, don't get me wrong, I love my steak, and we're in Texas. That's where it probably all has been championed forever. But sometimes it's not convenient. It's not economically affordable, and you can't put it in a shaker and get it right into your system.
Exactly. And I'll tell a lot of customers that as well. You can get your creatine from, beef. I think your liver makes like 2 grams a day or something of it.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so
But
supplement, exactly what it is, supplement.
Yeah, 100%. And it's that being said, the law hasn't changed in the United States. The U.S. RDA, the U.S. Recommended Daily Allowance of vitamins and minerals, that is a threshold so you don't fall into a disease state. So that's just baseline.
Right.
Athletes, hard training athletes in hot climates too, like we live in Texas and Arizona. How much electrolytes do you need?
Right.
You need to supplement a well-balanced diet. And, in the dead of the summer and the heat and busy lifestyles, you don't oftentimes have time to prepare a meal. So to have the ability to get a good shake in you and then some additives like some creatine or some essential amino acids or branched-chain amino acids, that is essential. That's extremely helpful.
Definitely. I'm guilty of using the greens way more than I probably should.
No, that's a great product.
It works.
That is a great product.
Yeah.
Because how else are you going to put what? And you look at the whatever your products. I've seen some of them. They'll say 68 different vegetables in there or something. The myriad of and the phytochemicals and the electrolytes and the enzymes. When I used to work over in the history of powerlifting, a lot of the Samoans, like in Hawaii, that have these world record powerlifting totals, right? But they had terrible. The cost of living was just so expensive. They wouldn't have great beef. They had some eggs and chickens and fish, but then to come find out that papaya enzyme is a protein intensifier, so it makes every protein better. So that's why those guys have tendons like garden hoses,
Right.
benching 700 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
Don't mean to cut it short, but I see who's coming in behind you is the president. is going to get some airtime. So
Awesome.
we won't cut you short, Steve. Is there anything
keep
you'd like
going
to
on,
close
Steve.
out?
Keep going on, Steve.
I just want to thank you guys for doing what you're doing here today. We really appreciate that.
Sure thing.
You sent over one of the coolest little promos I have, and I was like, no, I'm gonna cut this together, and obviously try and give you guys as much exposure as I possibly can. So
yeah, no, that was fantastic.
we love it. No, it's a cool hype. And if you haven't seen it, go on the Valorant YouTube page. We have the promo sponsorship that has like all the videos of the sponsors they sent us, and you got 2 of them. It's fantastic.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys. Everyone out there, give Venom and Valor a follow. These guys are great.
So
Yes,
thank
sir.
you so much, Steve.
Gainiac Nutrition.
Can't wait.
President Steven, thank you, sir. See you all weekend. Enjoy. Thank you. Now there's going to be the seat won't even grow cold before the president of USS.
There he is, Mr. 14-time. Paul, I started
got
calling
it wrong.
him that.
Now he's coming in. Now
Here he comes.
He came in. He was a little under the weather. He had a sinus deal going on the other day, but I bet he's better right now than he was yesterday when I saw him. Here he is, getting all mic'd up, if you will.
So Willie, the other day I told Paul, I said, try to think of a nickname for you. I said, I'm just gonna call him Mr. 14-time because you hear like Ric Flair, Mr. like 16 times. I said, Paul, how many times has Willie squatted 1,000 pounds? He goes 14 times. I said, there you go.
Did I get that wrong?
Did
I
you
remember?
get it wrong or
You
was it
corrected
right?
me the first time.
16.
Oh, see, Paul, I knew
I
it.
shorted him
I
again.
Knew it.
Son of a gun.
So
I
here we are,
shorted him
Mr.
again.
16
times.
And what weight too did you do that at?
Maybe 230. I
That's
think.
nuts.
Oh, wow.
That's ridiculous.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
ridiculous. That's 5 times.
Well, when you think
Oh,
about that,
God.
it's a deep knee bend, folks. We're at Strongman. It's a deep knee bend with 1,000 pounds and then throw 230 on it, so it's 1,230.
Yeah.
Woo! Think about that.
God.
That's a late night, 12:30.
So if you guys are watching the stream right now, we're here with the president that put all this thing together for the USS Nationals. This is Willie Wessels, an icon of the sport. Him and Paul go way back. They know each other, and we want to bring him out here because this wouldn't happen without him. So, Willie, always a pleasure having you on the mic, man.
Paul and I have a few years, so it's been a while.
Yeah.
But no, man, we have great people. That's the cool part. Having you guys here is a blessing, and we really appreciate you guys being here. Having our promoter in Texas, we have 4 reps. Ernie Batson, who is competing tomorrow. He's our senior rep.
Out of El Paso, correct.
Super guy. Right across the board. I believe I just saw Eric come up, Garcia, out of Houston. Aaron Moeller out of Austin. I don't know. I think he's going to be here tomorrow, but I'm not 100% sure. And then, of course, John and Megan putting this thing on.
Oh, yeah.
So, we are deep in Texas. And there's so many good promoters here, too. So, it was a no-brainer. We look at demographics, memberships, and Texas has been in the top 3 probably for the last 5 years in terms of showing up at nationals.
100%, sure.
I think we were in Manchester, New Hampshire last year.
Yes.
And I believe
yes.
Texas had the 2nd largest turnout up in Manchester, New Hampshire.
Really?
Which just blew my mind. So I'm like, these guys deserve to have nationals here. No doubt.
Sure.
Much like when you watch the NFL folks on TV and you see the commissioner was at the playoffs and the Super Bowl. Of course, the president's going to be here. He checked in early like we did on Thursday to make sure everything's
right in
squared
front of us,
away.
yeah, right in front of us.
Jonathan and Megan wouldn't have this show if they weren't squared away. And they are. It's just a tribute to their hard work. But you come down and you care, and I know you do. And when we last met together, you had just passed heading to the 1,000th barrier show. How many shows now is USS at?
I believe July 22nd will be our 1,200th show.
Congratulations
All right,
on
yeah,
that.
we're already at 12. So
Wow.
I'm thinking if we hit, which I'm pretty sure, confident we're going to be at 12 July 22nd, we may be pushing 13 by the end of the year.
Wow, 1,300 shows.
1,300. We're averaging now over 200 a year.
That's amazing.
I don't know how many shows I've sanctioned in the last 2 weeks, but I did check 2 weeks ago
Yeah.
to see where we're at. We were at 203 shows on the board a couple weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
So I know we're probably closer to 210 now.
Yeah, and if you're listening, we appreciate the follow on this. You want to check out Iron Podium. It's an amazing free website. It's a resource. It has all upcoming events that are Strongman that are sanctioned by USSS. And you can also read past events, but Iron Podium is amazing compared to our old powerlifting days when we'd have to find Powerlifting USA or so forth, right? I mean, it's space age.
We had word of mouth back then. Say, hey, Paul,
there's a meet up in New York. Looks kind of fun. You want to go do it? Okay, let's go. Yeah, you hear about it, but you really didn't see much unless you got the old magazine.
Yes.
And sometimes it was by the time I got the magazine, the show already happened.
Yeah. Things. The speed of light is how things operate. But Iron Podium's amazing.
Craig and Lindsay Kilgore are here, and they're doing our check-ins. You know, we been with them now. This is our third nationals together.
Nice.
And we make sure we have them
Awesome.
there because they handle the initial wave of people coming in when they check in. They can do all the checks right there, and then we send them to the weigh-in. They get their weights. We've got the IVs up there if they need to rehydrate. From there, they come down here, get the T-shirt from Haas Wear, which we appreciate them being here. They're doing a great job with the shirts. So it's a team effort. We just have a nice chain going. I think we've gone through. When I walked by Craig and Lindsay a few minutes ago, they said so far 475 people have gone through.
That's
checking in.
fantastic.
That's amazing. And when you're hearing that at home, and yeah, there is money involved in strength sports, but the amount of volunteers and teamwork and extra effort that goes into this it's exponential. You can't even measure it because the intrinsic value, when you're a strength athlete at heart, like we all are, you love giving back. But what you've created here, Willie, your team, it's amazing, and they believe in you. They believe in the mission. Our focus at ValorVim is always to showcase the athletes and the administrators like yourself who make it possible. But yeah, as you explain that, it's a lot different than when we showed up at the Showboat in '96 when I saw you squat 1,000 for the first time.
Oh my gosh, Las Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the Can American Championship.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And the power went out.
The power went out, so we're not going to curse ourselves.
I think that was on
Don't.
the deadlift.
Jesus.
It went out halfway through the show,
Yeah.
the event. It's August in Las Vegas.
Oh my gosh.
But rest assured, folks, the slot machines didn't stop.
Yeah,
the
it's
AC
weird.
did. It was weird.
Of course
They've
not.
always got power. I don't get-
They're on battery.
Well, I believe, I can't remember the gentleman's name from Canada. Massive dude.
Bruce
Had a-
Gregg.
Bruce Craig had a big deadlift.
Yes.
And he was up there deadlifting in the dark because the lights went out and he was ready to pull. He goes, I'm pulling. I'm not waiting. I got to pull him out.
Yeah, one of my mentors, had out of Calgary. Sadly,
Yes.
car accident. Rest in peace. One of my mentors, but
Well, I go back to Dave Passanella back in the day. It was
Oh, yeah.
27, car accident down in Atlanta.
Yeah,
And
he
he got broadsided and killed him.
he's an Arizona legend. That's where he was from. Cut his teeth. When I was at a work management conference in 2015, and it was in Atlanta. I walked by Georgia Tech, the stadium. They have a plaque dedicated to him
They
because
should.
that was the national championship team he coached. The split 1990, them and someone else, I think Virginia. But anyways, yeah, just wear your seatbelt, folks. Drive slow.
I walked up to Ernie's place in Aurora, Illinois, and Dave was there, and I was pretty young. That was a long time ago. And I believe Dave squatted, gosh, it was like 1,050 for 3.
Yeah. I remember.
And I'm watching him in the rack, and he walks it out,
I'm
sets
reading
it
that.
up. Wide as could be stance too. Down, up, down, up, down, up. I'm like, wait a minute, what's he got on the bar? Crazy. The guy
Right.
was so strong.
Right.
Well, they named a bar after him.
Yeah,
They
I
made
was
a
just
bar.
going to say, if you're that famous that they have to change the implement to accommodate your strength, not to make it easier, just to make it more safer, but more. At the rate he was going, he probably would have squatted 1,500 pounds in like 5 years.
Well, when I set the world record in the squat, it was on the Passanella bar.
yeah,
That's what we used. That bar was unbelievable. It didn't bend. I had 1,004 on there, and the bar was straight as an arrow.
right. And you could fit your shoulders.
Oh, yeah.
which was the thing. It wasn't a
wide
shoulder
enough.
wrecker.
Exactly.
Oh yeah,
You could get your hands out, which I'm sure Dave, such a massive upper body, he needed to get his hands out.
Yeah.
I'll bet you Kaz would have liked to have that back in the day. Have
Yeah,
that
exactly.
long bar.
Yeah.
He hated it. He said my shoulders would be shot
Yep.
when I had to squat first and I couldn't bench to save my life. So a couple of meets, if you remember back in the day with Bill, they let him bench first, then squat, then deadlift. That's the only time and the only person they ever did that for.
Right. Which it makes sense. The godfather of
Well, when you're too
strength
big
sports.
for the equipment, it's a.
Yeah.
But as you know, us old heads now, we marvel at Strongman. Look at the amount of companies that have come up with amazing equipment to allow these athletes to test their strength, right?
They're always somebody new's coming out, and they come out with always better stuff too. That's the thing. I mean, there's
Yes.
so many companies out there, and we've got several of them here today.
Yeah,
helping out.
over 20 sponsors are participating in this nationals, and then Jonathan's, he's such a Texan, and I love him. He was like, well, there were people. He was very kind. He said there were some companies that weren't interested. Then when he heard we had the world record amount of entries, then they were interested.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Oh, there's money in it. Okay.
Yep, got to be part of that.
Hey.
That girl's interested when you drive by in a Corvette. She didn't like you when you had the Hyundai.
Or the Dodge minivan.
No, that was me.
That's same here.
Same here.
Still got it.
That's all I had left after my divorce. I had a soccer mom van.
Yeah.
I didn't meet anybody.
Yeah.
So
Little do they know.
yeah.
Yeah, if a lady was attracted to me in that van, it's because she had a van and kids too.
That's right.
She thought you knew how to fix it, maintain it. So you're still based in Missouri,
Yes, St. Charles, Missouri.
and your son, when I was talking to you in the lobby, your son's baseball career just
That kid is amazing.
awesome.
Such a good boy. He's 16. He turns 17 next Saturday,
Oh, wow.
and he'll be a senior. So he's very young. It's funny, when he was little, we had him tested. At our school district that I taught in is where he went to preschool and all that. Well, they tested him all these different tests with blocks and colors and all that, and he smashed everybody.
Nice.
So they're like, well, you can start him now because he's more than tested out, or you can wait a year. And I'm like, yeah, let him go now. And
Right.
the kid's almost 6'3" now.
Oh, wow.
I don't know where you got that from.
That's 16.
It wasn't me. 16 years old, knocking on doors. He's like 6'2" and a half or 6'2" and 3/4, whatever he says.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And he was I had him up to about 180 for a while. Then, baseball got so busy, he didn't get to train as much the last month of baseball because they were in the playoffs and all that. So he got down to about 170, but now we're trying to pack it back on him.
Right.
Our target goal for a senior year is 190. We don't go for these unrealistic amounts. And
Baseball player, that's perfect.
we want to
Sure.
keep him athletic and fast because he's by far the fastest man on the team. The kid can go. When he's on first base, it's like we almost tell their team, he's going to steal.
Yeah.
Good luck. Try to get him. But you ain't going to get him.
What's his position he plays?
Center field.
Center field. Oh, so he's
Oh,
got
yeah.
long legs, so he can cover that distance.
Massive hands and
Yeah.
feet, and he's fast on top of it.
Yeah.
I have 3 very athletic children. All were very good at their respective sports, and I was a track coach. Not one of them ran track because it was during their seasons.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's
my
right.
oldest daughter
Yeah.
was soccer, my middle child was volleyball, and my son was baseball. All during track season. So I had these super fast athletic kids that never ran with their dad.
But you were a teacher, and your wife was telling me yesterday, I know your baseball player is a good student.
Oh,
a really
yes.
good
Oh,
student.
yeah, Miles, A
Are they
student.
all good students?
Oh, yeah. Actually,
good.
they really are. Mackenzie.
Awesome.
Usually you have at least one in there who isn't.
Yeah, I
We
know.
all know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It is funny. Mackenzie, who's my middle child, she was the one I thought would probably struggle more at the next level. She's a senior now in college and will be graduating next May.
Oh, congratulations.
Which I'm just like,
That's awesome.
But then I asked her, so what are you going to do when you graduate? She goes, I have no idea.
That's
Like,
all right.
like we all did.
Well, quickly figure out what you don't want to do. If
Right.
You don't like cleaning things. You don't like selling things. You don't like to travel. You can start narrowing it down.
She's such a sweetheart, but yet I don't even know what her degree's in because she's changed it so many times. So who knows what it is? I think she's just a professional student right now.
That's fine.
But
That
I
is
told her, I
fun.
said, make up your mind, whatever you want to do. I told her, once you graduate, Dad will help you with either a house payment. So it's your choice. You want to, because I said, it would be nice if somebody would have helped me with a house payment when I graduated. Or
Sure.
if you want to get a newer car, because the car she has now, she's had since she was like, I want to say a junior in high school.
Yeah.
It's a, oh my gosh, Honda Civic. And, but she-
Standard
oh,
beginner car.
You can drive it forever.
Yes.
But I told her if you'd rather have a newer car, we could do that instead of the house payment. It's up to you. But that's going to be your graduating gift from Anquinette and I. She's like, ooh, she's all excited now. I say,
Shiny new car.
don't think you're going to go out and buy a $100,000 car. I can tell you that right now.
Oh yeah.
No, there's nothing wrong with not knowing what you want to do. And I just turned 39, and guess what? I'm back in college trying to get my second career going.
There you go.
So it is what it is.
Well, you want to give you a good story on that? My mother, God rest her soul, she passed away 3 years ago. She was 39 when she went back to school.
Yeah.
She dropped out of high school to have my sister, and ended up going back in her GED. And then all of a sudden at 39 just said, you know what, I need to take this family a different direction. Went back to school, got her bachelor's in 2 years, got a master's in 2 years, got another master in 1 year, and then got her PhD. All done in 10 years, from 39 to 49. knocked it all out.
I'm telling you right now.
Straight A's across the board.
I'm telling you right now. I graduated at 2.0 in high school. I was done with high school. I signed up for the Marine Corps. I was like, that's all I want to do. Why am I taking AP classes? Like, this is ridiculous. So, show up, don't do any homework, pass all the tests. Here you go. Doing it when you're older, and again, it's anybody that's listening to this right now, it's just some advice, just personal advice.
Yes.
You don't feel as that you have to go to college right away. If you want to try and experience life and try some stuff, because I'm telling you right now, going as I say as an adult, but just going as you're older and you're more experienced and stuff like that, believe it or not, it's easier. And I think it's because you're more focused. Because let's face it, you just did 12 years of academics. Now you're going to college, probably the first time, but you're on your own. So, of course, you want to party, you want to have a good time. You're kind of missing the education aspect of it. That's just the truth behind it. There are some of you that maybe do go for the education, but, it's a good time. So the academics kind of put on a side burner, even though it's what you think you're going there for. And, again, like I said, there's nothing wrong with pushing it back just a little bit, just so you kind of get that mindset.
I think Sylvester Stallone said it the best. Somebody asked him about college, and he goes, all right, let me tell you what college is all about. It's your opportunity for 4 years to show up on time. Whatever work they give you to do, you get it done. Yep. You turn it in on time. So basically, you're proving to your employer that you're dependable for 4 years. And that probably give you a better chance of getting that job. That's how he was cracked. When I heard that, I'm like, oh my God, you made so much sense when you said that.
Yes, 100%.
It's just, because I don't know if I learned anything in college. I did everything I'm supposed to do, but until I became a teacher, that first semester teaching, I learned way more then than I did in 4 years of college. Nobody told me about hallway duty or bus duty or lunch duty.
Or dealing with the parent duty.
Oh my God, you don't get a chance to even practice parent-teacher conferences at all. So all that is all new. You walk in there going, nobody prepared me for this.
Right.
So you learn more, and that's I wish colleges would probably do more when we do like student teaching. We do it at the end of our college career. It should be at the beginning.
Right.
Because you may not like it. You may get there and say, oh, this is not for me.
Yes,
public speaking is one of the hardest things to do. You either have it or you don't, and it takes a while to develop that knack.
My collegiate experience was, I'll tie this into what we're talking about, too, the sport and all these things, but I went to Northeastern University in Boston. So, you know how many people that competed at the World's Strongest Man went to Northeastern? 2. Ernie Hackett.
Ernie Hackett
Was a PT.
I know who Ernie Hackett is.
And Boris Gerassi. Do you remember him? He was a hammer throw in the first one from Brooklyn, and he was from Israel, but he went to Northeastern.
Wow.
He weighed 246.
Wow.
The first World's Strongest Man, it was a little different, right? But no, my collegiate experience was, and your point on Stallone is, I went for a degree in law enforcement. But I would advise anybody, like, tying into what you were just saying, Willie, like, Northeasterners, you go to school half the year, and half the year you're called cooperative education. It's
That's
an
what they
internship.
should do, absolutely.
Yes. So I worked at a law firm, and I thought I wanted to be a lawyer. No. I could fall asleep sitting up. It was a trust lawyer. I could fall asleep sitting up. I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't do this.
No.
I worked in the courts, and I didn't work in. You could have gone a myriad of ways. So when I graduated college, I graduated in June, and by September I was a federal agent. They liked my degree, and it worked out. I got hired under the Outstanding Scholar Program. Believe that or not, they had that in the federal government site over. But I quickly figured out what I didn't want to do, which is the key, because during college I was a bouncer. I had other side jobs too, and I worked in a restaurant. I didn't like cleaning like a restaurant. I didn't like the hours. A lot of people went into like hotel security because there's big bucks in it, but the hours, it's not my interest. It's this place obviously has a team and it's managed, but I'm like, no, I didn't want to. I found my niche, and I highly, like you said, I recommend. But the best, your point, what Stallone made, one of my best managers. His degree, I worked with him, and he kicked ass. He did good. He was a former Marine like Sean. But one time I said, Hal, you have a degree? He goes, yeah, it's in animal husbandry. And he became the best law enforcement manager. He learned how to procreate sheep and do that and shear them. But he goes, and he told me, he goes, Paul, a college degree is showing you can do something in an organized manner and finish it in a certain time frame. That's it. But you're a professional educator your whole life. I embrace college and I embrace the education system, but there's more to life than that.
Sure. Get
out there and work, and it's a process of elimination. Figure out exactly what you want to do quickly.
I know so many people who didn't go to college that are millionaires.
Oh, yeah.
They came up with their niche, developed it, believed in it, lived poor as could be for 5 years developing it, and then all of a sudden it took off. And all of a sudden they went from working out of their garage to having to buy a building. Next thing you know, they're opening a factory. and they're, millions of dollars and hundreds of people working for them. I'm like, wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, 100%. And we know being in the what we're in, like in the strength sports our whole life, right? Like my garage gym, your crew, how many blue collar people did you have? I had a ton. I had like Art LeBear. Now, I would advise anybody to listen to this, what I've seen is if you take a guy that's learns roofing when he's a teenager, but puts that same drive and emphasis like a 4-year college degree, builds a roofing business and has 100 people working for him. He's better plumbing, any of those trades. Right. It's just that push when you learn how to, whether it's lay tile, whatever, you learn that skill, but then you learn how to run a business and have people working for you. The potential's exponential for to be comfortable and to contribute to society and be financially well off.
It's the guy who did tile at my house. He now no longer does tile. He's on border patrol down in Texas. He got tired of laying tile, so he's like, I'm gonna go down there because he's bilingual.
Sure.
They're begging for him, and they pay him a ton of money.
Do you remember Charlie Captor? He was a pro strongman for a real short period of time, about 20 years ago.
Okay.
But I trained with him in California, and he was 6'9", about 360.
Oh, yes, I know who Charlie is. I met him in Boston.
Yes.
I think back in like 03. He did really good.
Yeah, he's one of my buddies.
Isn't he almost 7 feet?
Yes.
I want to say he's right there.
Yeah, and he used to
Big
dress
guy.
like Santa.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Charlie Captor was one of my training partners, but he ran a tile business, and we all got together, you know how it is, and I had good lower body strength. He really didn't. He hadn't learned to deadlift, but he had this phenomenal strength overhead, and I said, Charlie, how did you get so strong overhead? He said, well, when I started my roofing tile business, I'm the one that loaded them up, and we didn't have a forklift. He did those pallets of tiles.
Wow.
And he had like 20 years ago, a 380-pound log press was close to the world record.
Oh, yeah.
He was amazing, amazing human being. But hard work pays off.
It's funny, when I met him, I was at California Strongest, and we were on the San Diego Fairgrounds. We were on the racetrack, dirt racetrack.
At Del Mar.
Which was all pitched down.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're doing the Strongman show on this pitched dirt track, and one of our lightweight guys was out there playing around doing snatches with like 135. He walks up behind the dude, grabs him, presses him over the head. Well, this guy's holding the bar up, lifts him and the bar up over his head. I was like, holy cow.
Yeah, like so
That's
in
hilarious.
Southern California, the 5 different counties, 20 million people. So I was a strongman. I was a powerlifter, and then I had heard about him. You hear about. So that's how it was. Then we all got together and formed what was called the Freak Factory.
Yes, I remember the Freak Factory.
I'm the one that came up with the name. I should have trademarked it, but it was at Kevin Kinsey's garage.
Kevin Kinsey, yes, with
Scott
the wild
Brangle,
hair and beard
yes,
and everything
yeah,
else. Yes.
Big Highlands game guy.
Yes.
But so we would have these raucous cookouts. And you're pretty strong. I'll tell you this. It started in the pool with me and Charlie, and he looked at me and goes, we've been training together for about a year. He goes, test the strength.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I lost. It was embarrassing. And you know who is in that crew is Jay Little, Yukon Cornelius, the third guy to close the Captain of Crush gripper, number 3, and had a hole-in-one. And he would imbibe adult beverages, and then our strongman thing would devolve into an arm wrestling thing, and he had been a world champion arm wrestler.
Oh, Lord.
Our Freak Factory was loaded. It's a who's who. Look them up on YouTube. But
I believe Iron Mind did an article on you guys, didn't they?
they did it on Kinsey.
Yeah, Kenzie, yes. I remember reading something on that.
Right, and so we started. So we're the ones that started. I started California's Strongest Man. Didn't trademark, didn't brand it, gave it away to Freak gave it away to Brengle, but we started that.
Bringle, yeah. Scott.
We went up to Jamestown in 2001. They did the 2 days before 9/11. That was my first strongman. That was called California's Strongest Man. They had it. Grizzly Brown was there. God rest his soul.
Grizzly Brown, yeah.
500 pounds. And I said to him, Grizzly, I can't gain weight. I'm like stuck at 315. He goes, you eat a stick of butter with every meal? He's no longer with us, so I don't recommend that, folks.
Woo! Stick of butter.
Yeah. God rest him.
Yes.
Strongman had some personalities back in the day.
Bodybuilding, same thing. Obviously, we're not bodybuilders, but I remember our gym owner back in the day who owned a gym in St. Louis. Had been around for a while. The young guys would come in, how do I gain weight? And he'd say, drink a gallon of whole milk before bed and a 6-pack of beer, and you'll gain weight. And I'm like, ugh, that just made my stomach curl.
Yeah, the stories, that's what we love when we get together. Luke, you were probably one of the lightest man ever to squat 1,000 when you did it. But I would know guys like Art Ramsey used to train with Lee Moran.
Oh, yeah, I know Lee.
Lee Moran squatted 1,003 at the 1984 seniors as a super heavyweight. He was also a Hell's Angel. He's no longer of this earth. But Ramsey would said they would be knee deep on a Saturday night in a 24 pack, and maybe there was some herbal being smoked.
Sure.
And then they decide to bench, and Lee would bench 600, drunk and stoned. I mean, these guys, Lee Moran was about 5'6", about 340.
Yes, he was as
Legendary,
wide as he was tall.
Badass man.
Yes.
And proved it, won a senior national championship when powerlifting back. We are those old guys for a second. Back in the day, if you won the seniors,
Oh, yeah.
you were the strongest powerlifter.
Well, it's funny because people who know powerlifting know seniors is it. That's the place to be.
It was it. It was what you strove for.
You tell people that you won seniors, and they're like, "Oh, you're over 40."
Yeah, now
like,
there's no.
That's not seniors.
Yeah, it's changed. It morphed. The seniors was it. The WPO. I went to the inaugural show to handle art. The WPO was it for about 6 years, 7 years, and now that no one refers to now they'll say the nationals, but no one knows seniors anymore.
Well, I competed with Karen. The guy who owned that.
Kieran Kidder.
Yeah,
Oh,
we competed together in Virginia, I think in '92.
Okay.
And yeah, he was a strong dude.
I competed with him in New England in '90.
Oh, wow.
And he's sitting next to me. We're both juniors then. And he's sitting next to me, and he's very candid. So he told me, he goes, I just got out of rehab. I was an alcoholic.
Oh,
And we're both 22.
Well, in '92, he was high as a kite at nationals.
I think he switched substances. And he had some money. He had some family money.
Oh, yes.
But the first WPO show in Daytona, Art flew me down there to handle him. I forget if you were there. Were you there?
I was not.
The night before, all expenses paid. One of the fanciest dinners I've been to, and Goggins was there, and it was neat because that was the first attempt in the squat was in the warm-up room, and if you didn't make it, you couldn't go out on the main stage.
Wow.
And it exists on YouTube. That first WPO, it was really good. The judging was, that's the first time I saw Kellum.
Oh, yeah, Jess.
Yep. I had met Gary Frank at the seniors in Chicago before, but that's the first time I saw Goggins. I'm like, your back can do that. Well, my back can't do that, but
yeah, Steve
human
has
elevator.
an incredible back.
That was
Incredible
That
back.
was one of your greatest rivals.
Yeah. Oh, Steve and I had a great time. Ed was in the middle of all that.
Yes.
So all the three of us would talk because we're all born the same year. That's the cool part.
Oh, wow.
Bull Stewart too. When he was big in the old 80 FPA.
Oh, yeah.
All four of us were born in '63. So we're all 60 or turning 60. It's kind of funny now.
Awesome.
Yeah. We're all still kicking.
And, I follow those, and I'm friends with Ed. I've met Steve, and you follow. It's public. All of them have had hip replacements, and you haven't, right?
Nope. I still have both my hips.
So you got your glorious glutes to thank that. It held you together.
I got good genetics thanks to mom and dad.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, I can't imagine what it would have been like back in the day because I met Ernie Franz and I did some of his meets, but I think the world of him, and everybody does, right? But you got to train at his gym. That must have been amazing.
Ernie and I were training partners for 3 years, almost 4. Well, 94 through 97.
Was Bill Nichols over there at that time?
Bill was still in there going at it. So
he got hurt a lot too.
Yeah, we had 3 monoliths going in there, and when you walk in the gym, all of a sudden it wouldn't always be Ernie, but there'd be someone there say, "What are you going to hit today?" And they'd say 800 squats. So you're on that monolith.
That's the JV. That's the JV guys over there.
Exactly. He goes, so "What are you going to hit?" And he goes, "Well, we're going to go for 1,000." Okay, you're on that monolift. And then everybody else was on the 500-pound less monolift.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That's the way they had it set up. It was like a contest every weekend in that place.
Wow. Was Brodsky there? Was Steve Brodsky? Because he was a big
I remember,
old boy.
Yeah, big
okay.
Brodsky. We competed against each other for the overall. At Illinois state championships in 93 maybe. And it came down on the bench, and we benched the exact same weight.
But you were 100 pounds less.
I was
easily.
in the 220 class.
Yeah, Brodsky got up to 400 pounds, right?
He was a massive dude.
Big guy. He's like a surgical tech, right? By
Oh,
trade?
yeah.
He cut in on surgeries and stuff.
Oh,
or helped out.
the dude had skills. The last guy you'd think, can you imagine being in a surgical room and seeing this massive dude come up on you?
He was the self-proclaimed Jewish Hercules of. That's what he would say.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Oh, I was there back when Maris was still around. She since passed away.
Yeah, God bless Maris.
I got a great story for you. In 92 Virginia, I'm sitting between Jess Kellum and Chris Confonsori.
God rest his soul. I handed off to him in Boston. He died in a car wreck, too.
The three of us are sitting there, and they're both this tall to me. I look like a basketball player next to these guys. But we all are rating, because I was in the full power meet. They were in just the bench. But I was in the bench, too. So we're all sitting there together, getting ready to go. And so we get up, because we're going one after the other. And all of a sudden, here comes, from West Side, with the long ponytail, Matt Dimmel. Just came to me. Matt Dimmel runs us over. Literally runs right over Chris, Jesse, and I, and we go flying because
oh, wow.
The judge, who was the judge in the seat at the time?
Radar Capehart?
Nope, not Radar.
Jim Rouse?
No, his wife, Grimwood.
Oh, Terry Grimwood.
Terry was one of the judges, and his wife was one of the judges. And one of West Side main guy.
Louis.
One of his guys didn't hit depth, according to Tamara Grimwood. And she red lighted him. He stood up. Louis turns to her and makes a very derogatory comment about how she looks. Didn't realize Terry was sitting in the other chair. Terry pops up. Louis takes off like a beeline. Terry takes off after him. I don't know this is going on because they're over here on the platform. We're over here waiting to go on the bench. Well, they made it all the way around the room to us. Matt Dimmel is doing everything he can to hold Terry back. Now, Terry is about maybe 230, 235.
Big boy.
Ripped to the bone. Matt's over 400 pounds. Matt's on his tippy toes trying to hold this guy back. He's pushing him like somebody's pushing a blocking sled because Louis is in front of him trying to get away. Well, Louis made the mistake of going into the warm-up room, and there was only one way in, one way out.
Right.
So he's cornered. I didn't see it, but all I heard was, bam, big old smack. Louis comes out with a giant shiner. So we were all like, hey, Lou, you probably shouldn't say anything about Tamara anymore. God rest her soul. She's passed away, too.
Yeah, and Terry, he's had some misfortune. He's in state custody.
Oh, yes. He had issues before.
Yeah. But at the time, 30 years ago, the Grimwood Power System, and they were,
oh my God,
they were promoting it.
Strong couple.
They had but they had strong lifters like Gary Heisey and Grant Pitts.
Oh, loaded.
And they were filming on PL Powerlifter Video magazine, and that was a top team out of Pennsylvania at the time.
I met Pitts one time. That was a massive dude.
I have never met him, but seen pictures. Yeah, and Tamara was the first woman to bench 400.
Oh, yeah.
Former U.S. Marine, I believe, right?
Yes. Super strong.
Yeah.
We got along great. And, hey, if she gave me a red light, I was cool with it. Because she knew where death was. I would never have said anything, that's for sure.
Said roger that.
It's like, oh, boy.
Yes, if you guys are watching right now, we're going down memory lane here because Paul and Willie have known each other for years, competed with each other, against each other, and just this is what it's all about. It's these strongman events, even any kind of strength sports, that you build these families, you build these bonds that last forever. And, with life and everything, sometimes you don't get a chance to really sit down and talk to each other, but when you do get that chance to reconnect, it's open like a Watergate.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the stories go on forever.
Yeah, the nationals in strength sports are also a reunion. I mean, there'll be athletes here tomorrow, and imagine Texas has always been a mecca of strength.
Yes.
And there'll be athletes coming in that aren't competing or maybe have competed. It'll be a reunion. You'll see tons of old friends. You'll meet some new ones, and it's just the common denominator is just strength is very humbling, but it pulls us together, and it's so appreciative. We'll sit here and because regardless, 100 years will pass. Your phone that you have now that we didn't have 30 years ago, it's a computer. The 1,000 pounds you squatted, Willie, 16 times is going to be 1,000 pounds 1,000 years from now. It's still going to be heavy.
Yeah.
It's never going to be easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it.
30 years ago, we were talking powerlifting. Here we are at the biggest strongman contest on the planet.
Yes.
Together again.
Right.
It's crazy.
And what we've seen is strongman has created the hybrid athlete because powerlifting is a good cornerstone.
Yes, it is.
It's a phenomenal sport, and most strongmen do a lot of the tenets of powerlifting, but the strongmen are stronger. It's better. You're more well-rounded, and it makes a stronger athlete.
When I first made the change to a strongman,
Yes.
Bill was one of my judges. And I said, Bill, you did great in powerlifting, and then you switched to strongman, and you did great. How long did it take you to switch over? He goes, it didn't take long at all because all of our strongman events back then were static. He said, what you guys got to do? He said, yeah, I don't want to do that. He said, I don't want to run 100 foot with a yoke or carry farmers, unlimited distance. He goes, yeah, we didn't have to do that. What you guys have to do now, it's a big change to come from powerlifting into strongman.
Yes, 100%. And 20 years ago when I did it, our medley at the Nationals was 100 feet in the yoke with 750 and drag 750 back 100 feet. I mean, I came in 5th overall, but I saw my life pass before my eyes. There was a little medley heavy, and it's kind of come back a little bit. It's the medleys are a little less distance, you know, and it models the Arnold,
Yes.
which and as well as World's Strongest Man, which is on TV. They don't do the distances anymore. They
Well,
did.
the thing is with the Arnold, they're limited on space.
Sure.
A lot of
Right.
people are like, why do they do this? Well, it's because that's all they can do. They have very limited space, and they
Right.
also have time constraints. So if you've got 100 athletes competing in strongman, you've got a 2-hour window to knock out 2 events.
Right.
So they may have you come in and compete from 10 in the morning till 12 o'clock. Then at 12 sharp, you're off. The next whatever entertainment's
Event
coming
is
on
on.
is on. And then you got to show back up at 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock to do your second event. Yeah, that's not for me. I'm like,
No.
I would need bigger windows and more space. That's why I've never really had a huge interest in USS, being part of that, because they would have to change the scheduling for us to fit what we got going on. That just wouldn't fit.
I understand.
Sure. And then they also sometimes they got to compete for 3 days out there, and it's like, ugh.
Yeah, it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday now.
What just goes to show you is that, if you're looking to get in the sport, find the venue that works for you and
Yes.
the weight you want to lift. And, if you try something that doesn't work, then still give it a shot and try something else, because then you'll find, oh, I like this better. It's not saying that the organization's better than the other one. It's just you're doing it for you.
Well, the only reason they have to do it, the other organization has to do that. That's the time constraint they get.
Right.
I was there. We signed that contract back in 2010. That's when it all started. So I was there for it in 2010, 11, 12. Then I left. But I remember I felt like we were always in a hurry.
Right.
We were rushed to get it done. I'm like, this isn't fun.
Yeah.
You really can't there's no time to talk to anybody. about anything.
Well, and that you being an athlete based at heart administrator, you realize that because like me, when I was busy family stuff and I wasn't doing strength sports whatsoever, but when I get involved in it, I don't want to ever be involved in something that doesn't showcase the athlete. If it's unsafe, if it's if it's a high squat type deal, whatever it is, that's why strongman's grown so much, because it's 100% measuring but it's putting the athlete in the best light that, hey, there's no doubt that the best people will win here. The most balanced strength athletes will win. It's an awesome way, and it's always evolving in the different events and equipment they come up with. And there's about 50 different ways you can contest strongman now that I think off the top of my head. And I think it makes it by far my favorite strength sport right now.
Well, every year I give promoters the freedom of picking their events. And, sometimes promoters will ask my advice. Sometimes they don't. But I'll be like, okay, I think, that's a good choice of events. Or I'm like, you might want to change this one a little bit for whatever reason. But it's funny how with our nationals, we get told, oh, those events aren't going to work. Nobody's going to sign up for it. Yet it keeps getting bigger each year.
Right.
So maybe certain type of people wouldn't like it, but this group of people really liked it a lot. So we try to get everybody we can in. And we offer different levels, too. We've got a pro class now where we actually pay our pros. We're the only company in the world that does that.
Wow.
We actually have 2, one male, one female. We'll add 2 more come September 16th in Anna, Illinois. Dawson Momford hosting it at his gym, 618 Rise Performance. And we'll have another new female, new male that'll get paid every month till the day they walk away from the sport.
That's awesome.
As a matter of fact, our female who won last year, Rachel Waterhouse, she's due. They're having another baby. She's due next month. So she's like, hey, I'm going to take like 6 months off. I'm like, okay, you still get paid every month.
That's incredible.
Because it's we want to help the athletes.
Right. Yeah, sure.
And
Of
I
course.
don't restrict them to compete in the USS. Once you get a paid contract, you can compete anywhere you want, because we're trying to help the athlete out.
Well, plus that's also showing your brand, like, oh, that's a USS athlete. And, oh, they just came here and dominated. Like, wow, okay, yeah.
You want to go to OSG or wherever? I'm okay with that. Use that money to pay for a flight or a hotel or your entry fee or a new pair of knee sleeves or whatever you need. Save it up and go from there. And like I said, we'll add 2 more each year. And then my goal eventually, as we get bigger and we get more money coming in, I would love to add 2 subclasses. I'd love to have a men's 220 and under, a women's 165 and under. So we got those pros getting paid also to help them further their dreams and meet their goals.
That's incredible.
Ladies and gentlemen, you hear here, this is really Wessel's president of USS, basically telling you where he's going to take this sport. So, now's the time. If you want to try and get in this, hey, get paid doing something you love to do.
Yep. And I can tell you right now, next year's Nationals are in Denver, Colorado.
Yes, they are.
June 8th. The year after that, we're in North Carolina with Greg Popchoy.
Nice.
The year after that, we're in Cedar Rapids, Iowa with Ken Johnson. And then we're in New Jersey, Atlantic City with Liz D'Amato. And then this young lady sitting behind you in 2028 in Arizona, Julius May.
Absolutely.
So we've already got the next 5 years locked in.
Think about that. That's more locked in than the Super Bowl is not locked into 5 years
Right.
ahead. That's amazing, Willie.
Well, people want information. I know that, and as a former teacher, former coach, nobody wants to play a guessing game.
Wait a minute, you're telling me the strength game doesn't have a rumor mill? We specialize in that in between
my gosh.
sets. Yeah.
God.
I didn't mean to get you on
No,
that
but
tangent.
you're funny you say that because I've had people say, "Oh, I hear you're having nationals in Hawaii,"
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Well, that'd be great. I probably would.
unfair to everybody.
I'd be lucky to have 50 people there
Jesus.
because they couldn't afford to go."
Right.
Yeah, and again, being an athlete at heart, but a visionary, it's fair to you bouncing around the United States and people up their game.
Well, we look for great promoters, number one, and
Sure.
they're all our state reps. I work with our state reps. They promote the show. Any money they make is theirs. They don't have to pay me a dime. I don't want any of it. Let's put it back in the show, help the athletes out.
Right.
Then now, Greg Popjoy, give him credit. He inspired me because we always talk about when you go to the next level, pay to play. You still got to pay to play. And I'm like, you know what, Greg? Let's change that. So now at all of our world international shows, you pay a $100 deposit. When you come to the show to compete, I give you your money back. And the promoters get to keep the money they got from you as a sponsorship from us.
That's crazy.
That's amazing.
So if we get 40 women at Pro Women's Worlds, that's $4,000. Julia gets to keep that for sponsorship from us, and all the athletes get their money back from me.
That's awesome. And
Help 'em out.
As much as we're talking powerlifting earlier, it is true that there are it's come out with the information age that some federations are making their people pay to go to the worlds in powerlifting and stuff, and you guys are doing the opposite of that, which is amazing, and it's the way it should be.
Yeah, we're probably one of the newest, if not the newest, strength
That's awesome.
company, and we always try to give more away and help the athletes, help the promoters. You take care of the athletes, take care of the promoters, and you'll have a successful company.
That's
Oh,
fantastic, Willie.
wow. Awesome. How's your merchandise sales going? I see your the swag on. How you
Oh
doing
yeah,
with
this
that?
is one of my new shirts. As a matter
Yeah,
of fact,
I just saw the black. I was like, where'd those come from? There was like, they're
I
over
like
there.
that.
Lee Woody, who is here, he's our Kentucky rep. He inspired me. Now I can't use all the words he used, but I was at Lee's show January 7th, and we were getting ready to do the national anthem. And Lee's on the mic, and he goes, "Hey, I realize in this day and age, some people don't respect the flag. Some people choose not to stand. Some people choose not to take their hat off. But you're not going to do that here. You can go outside and do that out there, because I'm a Marine, and you're going to stand and you're going to take your something hat off." So he stand for the flag.
Yeah.
He got that, and I'm like, what else can we add to it? And that was kneel for the cross, respect the shield.
Hey,
Wow.
I'm like, wow, Lee, you inspired me. And a lot of my, Greg Popjoy inspired me to do the no more pay to play. Lee inspired me for this shirt. I mean, I listen to my promoters, I listen to my athletes, and they give me great ideas.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I often say this anywhere I'm involved in. I don't want to be the smartest man in the room. I want to have the smartest room.
Yes.
I want a team that tells me if the emperor
100%.
has no clothes, and that. So is that amazing shirt available online? You have the USS has a website.
It is available, UnitedStatesStrongman.com. Go to the store. I think we have this shirt up here. I hope I sent it to Craig Kilgo and Lindsay, who run Iron Podium.
Yep.
Craig is our IT, so things get posted quick. He asked me, we had new socks out right now. Some really cool socks. And
Really?
I only brought 10 pair with. I think I have 1 pair left already.
that's awesome.
They're like going like hotcakes. They're really, there's not super fancy, but they're thick, which I know at my age, my feet like
Yes.
thick socks.
Yes.
Feels way better on my feet.
Yeah. There's nothing like how your feet feel after an event day if you don't have the right gear.
He'll message
hurt.
me saying, give me a really clear picture so I can post it on the store for this. I mean, he is on top of it. He
That's
does
awesome.
And I think I did that with this shirt. If I didn't, I'll double check and get it taken care of. But yeah, everything's always available on there. If I'm at a show, I bring apparel with, and I'll save you on shipping. But if you want to order it online, I think it's $7 to have it shipped out. We sell banners, we sell all kinds of stuff. And we use a lot of that money to sponsor our worlds and
Right.
Help athletes out. I made a deal with oh my God, Evan Singleton.
Sure,
I said,
T-Rex.
Evan, you make top 10 at World, top 5 at Worlds. I'll send you $1,000. He did it.
He did it.
And sure enough, he gets home before he texts me, "Hey, Will, made top 10, just saying." I said, Evan, I didn't forget, buddy. A deal is a deal.
That's awesome.
And so I Venmo'd him $1,000.
Hey, you see right there. No gimmicks needed. He got Willie Wessel, Mr. 16-time Paul 1,000-pound squatter. And, we appreciate you coming out here. Always a pleasure, Willie.
Thank you.
And the relationship that we've built with you over the years. And,
You guys
seeing
were awesome.
Here. You talked about having nationals in Colorado. I hope we're there. I hope, they reach out to us and they want us there. And because this is a blast.
We'll definitely introduce you to Kate and Justin. They're here, so we'll definitely.
Oh, please.
introduce you.
Yeah.
They're here. I don't think Greg's here. I believe he had something going on this weekend.
Okay.
So he's not here, but I think Ken Johnson is supposed to be here. I haven't seen him yet because I'd love to introduce you to him. And then Liz D'Amato is here, and of course Julia Smay.
Oh, yeah. That's our ally.
You can't miss her.
Yeah, I mean,
you guys live there, so
yes, 100%.
We're all the time.
Yeah, when I first reconnected with you a couple years ago in
That was
December,
because of Julia.
Show we started talking
Yep.
about this, and we had even talked about this down the road. And you're a big part of making it happen, so we appreciate it,
Oh,
President.
happy you guys
Appreciate
do an
it, Willie.
amazing job.
And actually, since you got here, Willie, I'm going to show you. We showed it last night a little bit. We're going to show it again. This is what they're going to see tomorrow because there have been rumors like, we only got one camera. It's not going to be worth the stream. But that's what you're going to see tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
You're going to have lane 1 and 2, lane 3 and 4. This camera is always on us. This is lane 5 and 6, and you're going to have lane 7 and 8. You are going to see every single athlete that we push through here tomorrow. So we're ready to rock and roll. I mean, we cannot wait for tomorrow.
It's going to be a blast.
Yes, it will.
We're looking forward to it.
Almost 500 men, ladies testing their strength. So excited. Full day Saturday. Tomorrow. Can't wait. Thanks again.
Yes, sir.
So unlike the president, you, President, can tell what is your schedule coming up. There's no secret. No
Lord.
Secret Service.
It's
Anything you want to push a little bit?
Well, next weekend, on the weekend, we fly out on Thursday to Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Oh, wow.
We got a record attempt event out there in the log press going on with David Keatley.
Cool.
So we fly out on Thursday. Show's on Friday because it's the Bison Strongman, and that's part of their
neat.
festival.
Oh, how neat.
That's cool.
Yeah. I've been to some festivals. That's
Oh,
fun.
and I was there at
What a
the show
blast.
last year, and it was a ton of fun.
Hopefully Jeff Maddie comes by.
Ooh,
He lives in Wyoming.
yeah, big Jeff
He
Maddie.
lives out there.
He's got that deep voice.
I think he's like 600 pounds.
Oh, my God.
Really, hopefully.
I competed with him at Strongest
That's
Man
half
Alive
bison.
in '98, and he wore jeans because there was nothing else he could wear. He comes out there, and of course, the incline log press, he's just all day long.
He's a strong. He had the all-time world record in the bench, 725 for a little period of
Super
time.
nice guy.
Yeah, I haven't had the pleasure, but
he comes
he's
up
like
to me.
Bigfoot to me.
I go, hey man, how you doing? He goes, I'm good. How are you?
Man, literally a man mountain.
Oh my God.
Modern day
Yes.
Haystacks
right.
Calhoun.
Oh, my God.
I don't think his head's really small because he's so big.
Just the
it
rest
makes
of
his
the
head look
I
suit.
hope.
small.
I hope he's there. I know he's Wyoming based. So
that'd be awesome.
That's neat that there's a bison days out there, and you have a guy going for a gentleman going for the world
Apparently,
record.
and David said, "Man, we need you out here. What we got to do to get you here? Because we got
awesome.
We only have 4 national judges: myself, John Albrecht, Steve Barkley, and Tim Kovac. Steve and John are both working the show here tomorrow.
Oh, great.
He said one of the national judges has to be there. And the beauty of people a lot of times ask me, "Oh man, why is there only 4 national judges?" Well, I'll tell you why. Number one, the 4 of us, none of us train with anybody else.
Right.
We pretty much train by ourselves. So there's no bias. Not my buddies out there lifting, so he's
Sure.
going to get an edge.
Yep.
And so if you set a record, if Paul Leonard sets a record in the log, and you hear it got broke in California, and I was there, that guy probably broke. He broke it.
It was legit.
It was legit.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it had one of our national judges out there. Instead of, my buddy's gym I set a record at. Yeah,
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Back in powerlifting days, how many times did we see a guy hit a 900-pound squat to qualify for seniors, and he shows up to seniors and he bombs at 650? What happened?
Yeah.
That gym 2,000-pound total turned into about a 1,700-pound total at the meet.
Yeah, our strength sport background, we learned a lot, so
Yes.
we're able to for the good and the bad.
Well,
We're
that's
able to-
another reason why I have just 4 judges. All those years of powerlifting, all those years of strongman. I got almost 40 years in string sports now. And so you learn, it's like, okay, people want credibility. That's their main thing. They don't want to get ripped off.
100%.
They want credibility. And so if you have 4 people who judge the exact same way, people respect that.
100%. As much as we love powerlifting, there is always the chance of depth subjectivity in the squat. But strongman doesn't have they have rules on the lift and the legitimate, but if you get a bar overhead and it's a clean lockout, or a deadlift locked out, it's strongman legal, which is good. There's less chance for subjectivity in the strongman lifts by far.
A log press is, the rules means real simple. You clean, you press it, you lock it out. Your feet need to be parallel. If you split, you can split jerk, but you need to bring your feet back to parallel. Head through, looking at the judge. If you show that,
and
good
down
lift,
signal,
and then you got to control it to the ground. So we've had people tree top it. When they tree top it, no lift.
Right.
As it should be.
Yeah.
But
so it'll be interesting tomorrow with the axle to see how many of these guys, because I've seen some of their videos online, and some of them were tree topping after they hit a lift. I'm like, I message them privately and say, hey, just you do that at nationals, it's 0.
right,
You don't get a second chance. It's
right.
done.
Which reminds me, that all being said, I love doing this. But if you're watching this, the rules briefing's at 5:30.
Yeah, we got about 30 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, so we got 5 minutes till it's 5. I was gonna take a 30-minute break, kind of like just rehash everything.
Yeah.
Get back out there, and then we get the rules briefing. I know Megan and John are gonna go over it. And again, if you can't make it here, which we hope you can as an athlete, but for some reason you came and checked in, you can't do it, watch the rules brief. It's going to be up. You can watch it again later tonight. But the coolest thing about this place is that John and Megan have made us into like a mini expo with all sponsors and everything here. So it's definitely going to be a good time. So we're going to be here every step of the way trying to bring every single highlight to this fantastic event. Obviously with President Willie Wessels here, it's where it all started. So, sir, always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure hanging
Yes,
out with
sir.
you guys.
Yes, sir.
You know
What
that.
again on the way out? What's your social media so they can follow you?
Well, on my private Instagram is WWessels1, and of course the company is United States Strongman. That's both on Instagram, and then of course Facebook. It's United States Strongman and Willie Wessels.
Awesome. Thank you so much, sir.
Appreciate it, guys.
Awesome
Anytime.
to see you again.
Always
Pleasure,
happy to be
Willie.
here.
Appreciate
Definitely.
it. Thank you.
All right, so
All right. You heard it here first. They got USS Strongman. They got the next 5 years of nationals
that's-
planned out. That's amazing.
that's it. I've never heard that. Never heard that in the sport. Never.
Oh, no. Yeah,
Yeah.
the old school, it used to be you waited till about January and then announced the year's schedule, just the year ahead. And so that is,
Funny how times
the
change.
vision. They're talking, and off the top of my head, next year, Colorado,
Yes.
then North Carolina. Then he talked about Atlantic City, New Jersey, and then maybe Phoenix. I don't know if I missed one. I don't want to get ahead of myself. But
Yeah,
awesome.
he said a whole bunch. I was in awe. Like, he has all already figured out. Like you said, the NFLs, we know they're going to have the games after this. But hey, we want to stream both about 2 hours. We're going to take a quick little break. In about 30 minutes, we're going to come back and give you the rules meeting for the 2023 USS National Strongman event, largest ever. And we'll
Yes.
see what the official total is when they're all said and done. Like I said, we had 630 that signed up. We'll see at the end of the day, and we'll post all the results as about where everybody's going to be for their flights, where the lanes are going to be in, and basically when they're going to go. So stick around. We'll be back in about 30 minutes. Definitely something you don't want to miss, and we are so happy that we could be here.
Valor and Venom, like,
Yes, sir.
share, and subscribe.
Yes,
This
sir.
is Paul J. Leonard, PLUSA on Instagram. Please give me a follow. My YouTube is also Paul L. Sean, your social?
American Outlaw USMC, as well as Valor and Venom, not only on Instagram, but obviously if you're watching this right now, it's also on YouTube. Please tell your friends, families that want to come and watch us or see just maybe this is the first time you ever seen Strongman and you want to check it out. Please follow the page, subscribe to the page, put notifications on, because we are going to go live tomorrow at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then Mountain Standard Time and Pacific Standard Time, it's going to be 6 a.m. So it's definitely something you're not going to want to miss. So from Valor and Venom, Paul Leonard and the American Outlaw are going to sign off for a minute. We'll be back in about 30 minutes for the rules meeting. Y'all take care. Have a great day.